the vocabulary, how to share our feelings, rather than take it out on someone. So rather than share our feelings, talk about, oh, this is how this makes me feel, right? I feel anxious at this time. Rather, we find a way to still look masculine and strong without the vulnerability that comes with it. So we don't use the right vocabulary, and that's a problem. So we've really got to go back and learn, and in that way reprogram ourselves. Just like for you to really speak good English, you've got to go and learn eloquence. And that's why you come to the School of Eloquence.
Do you feel terrified when speaking before a group? Are you stressed when asked to present? Do you bore people when speaking? Are you stuck with reading word for word? How do you give a speech with polish? Learn how at the School of Eloquence,
the home of public speaking. Attend our practical coaching in public speaking. Call 0802 303 2066 or log on to schoolofeloquence.org.
School of Eloquence, teaching the world to speak.
Because you can speak, yes, you can have conversations, but you've got to learn the vocabulary and what it takes to speak in a way that touches people, that makes impact, and that creates power. So the danger is that your relationship dies, and when your relationships die, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to succeed alone, right? Like I said, we were created relational. We've talked about the medical side of things, right? As we bottle up our emotions and our feelings, there's a tendency for us to develop other, medical issues that would take us to the hospital and probably death.
Well, the ultimate, of course, of life is death. So bottling up can actually kill.
It can kill you.
So for the office space.
So for the office space, it's quite a challenge. For me, as MD CEO, I've learned to become an emotional manager. So what we try to do is when we have team meetings, we don't just delve into the business of the day. So what's your target? Have you met it? What have you done? What new business have you brought to the office? We have 5 days to the end of the month. Who's bringing us money? Things like that. We just try. So I've learned that also, that, hey, okay, you guys, who has anything nice to celebrate? Did anything interesting happen over the weekend? So that any good news? Oh, you lost your aunt. Oh, sorry, was she dear to you? So sometimes it's even tough for me because I'm like, Hakim, you're paying salary on Friday, which concern me with one auntie, but you just have to try. Then they begin to come out. I'm like, so this thing I read in this book, so this thing I watch in this movie, so it's true. Then they begin to come out. Nobody has asked them. They are coming up with stiff pressures from the house, and it's tough. And one of our core values is teamwork. When I finish my team meeting, they go out, they need to work together for that collaboration and participation. Then to me, I've noticed that when I'm in a good mood, I've shared with my wife, I'm happy, that's when I can be given 1 or 2 bonuses. Okay, let's increase salary next month. But when I'm stressed, I've bottled up, I've not shared, there's one burden that I've brought to the office, even me too, I'm shouting at them. Who wrote this report? Rubbish, this is the way I taught you. Get out from here. And they're wondering, Then the thing begins to trickle down. Which kind of guy be this? Must you shout? Can't you guide us? Then me too, and now start regretting. This guy just resumed with us 2 months ago. Yeah. I've not really carried him along. Then the whole thing just trickles down negatively. Then I feel bad. I've also noticed that my staff members are like my family. I spend more time. I get to the office 7 a.m. I don't leave until 5:36. When I get home, I eat, watch TV, sleep off. Early in the morning, third mainland bridge traffic. So I spend more time with you people. So you people are my family. So I need to know what happens to you guys. What are the good news we need to celebrate? So that even if they don't have ways to ease off pressure, you create one. Hey, create one and a safe space.
Wow. Excellent take, both of you. It is, when you are going, you pick speed. Gear 1, and these days we now have gear 7. You know what I mean? And for those of you that love auto, get on the autobahn. No, nothing is stopping you. So 2 things we are going to take now from your takes, and I'll start from you, but I'll let you say it first. Then we're going to talk about safe spaces. Yeah. You mentioned family. I'm coming back to you for family. Victorious Victor. I noticed that the way leadership and who the person that is leading is reflects directly on the children. Yeah. It mirrors, directly. Stockholm syndrome, or whatever you want to call it, whether the good way or the bad way. The same thing applies to men. Today we're not talking about fatherhood and parenting. We're talking about men. Beer parlor in this part of the world. Yeah. In other places, lounges, men's group, polo club, country club, golf club are ways to ease out. So it means that the avenue to talk is important for men. Sure. Like what we're doing. Yeah. So how do you think we can create more safe spaces for men that we talk? Because when alcohol is in the body, or you are watching football and people talk, and you'll be wondering, now this is not having this, and you can't put the two together. They're like two strange people. Yeah. So how do we create those safe spaces and for men to know that, look, speak, be a baby, be yourself again. Yeah. Say it the way it is. From your perspective, take your time.
So here's the thing. When we bottle up our emotions and our feelings, we tend to increase our stress levels, right? When stress increases in the body, we usually would develop a coping mechanism. This is natural. We find a way to cope with the stress, okay? And what we tend to do as men to cope with the stress is, like you said, turn to alcohol. Because while you're drinking the alcohol, it sort of deadens your pain at that time. And alcohol is dangerous. But please remember that pain it deadened. It was only sleeping. When you finish the alcohol, when the thing clears from your eye, it's waiting for you. You go and carry it again. So it's not really a solution. And alcohol, like you said, is dangerous. Alcohol kills more people than weed, for example. Yes. Right? So this is the thing. So we tend to turn to habits or mechanisms that are not healthy for us. So we need to find a way, like you said, to create safe ways of expressing our emotions. And like when we are in a beer parlor or a bar or something, people talk, right? But watch what they talk about. Most of the time, they don't talk about their deepest pains. They don't talk about their struggles. They talk about football. They talk about women. They talk about, all of those things. And all those things are surface things. The real issues, when a man, for example, is facing impotence, for example, and it's weighing down on him. That's not ephemeral. Please, who's going to talk? Who's going to tell his friend that, look, oh boy, they stand again, So we need to understand that it's okay to discuss these things. So we need to now promote things like, men's clubs. There are programs on TV, on radio that usually a men's roundtable. You hear about women's roundtable. You hear about all women always have one event or the other, to go to. But how many do men have? So we need to encourage the society, encourage people to come up with events that men can go to and have conversations, even in church. For example, during Christmas, right? There are bags of rice for widows. There's nothing for widowers. Almost nothing. I don't hear of any program by organizations, by churches, religious organizations. I don't hear anything about widowers. But sometimes you have a man who's lost his wife and he's catering for 5 children. Has to go to work, has to make money, he has to make food for them. So many challenges, and there's nobody to turn to. When he goes to someone, they say, but you're a man. Now, this is what makes you a man. So we need to create those safe spaces. In other countries, there would be parks. And just walking around the park, you can have conversations, right? You can have conversations. But when Governor Fashola was starting to bring back the green spaces and the parks and all of those things, people were saying, now flower we go chop. But now flower we go chop.
Those are the things that make every community different. Parks, you can, in fact, you can't do 30 minutes walk in some places. You can. It's vivid, I can picture it. You can't do in some places. I not see a good park. Now, for this same question, you are raising very valid points. Of course, for want of, there are so many limiting things like time also.
Yes, of course.
There's something you just raised. Widowers. I flip it. Most leaders in the world right now, women representation is poor. Before you start saying I'm feminist too, I'm feminist at the same time. But the truth is, so because the representation for now is so poor, the people leading us, even in Nigeria, are mostly men. These same men that were not taken care of mentally are the ones leading. And you are wondering why the country or most of the world is running like this. So, to the suit and tie people, because that's what you are today now, why is creating these safe spaces very key? Because we are building men. What we are seeing is end product. You are a result of all the things that you have imbibed, the books you've read, the people you've gone through the people that have gone through you've gone through. Yeah. So why is it important to create these safe spaces? Because you spend most time at work. So it means that your life is actually work, quote and unquote, to say. So why is it important to create good men, great places, spaces in the workspace?
Okay, so I think is extremely critical. And you touched on it. So in our respective places, we are seen as leaders. And as a leader, you should be able to have that balance. People are looking up to you as a mentor, and those your mentees, when you see them struggling. And there's nothing wrong in raising up your hand and say, hey, I'm struggling. But you see, they may not know. And this is where the coaching and the guidance comes in. So if you perceive one or two things, you can say, hey, John, please come. Is everything okay? I may not be okay financially, but let me hear your problems. Because I see the flip side of it. If I go and ask John now money, even me too, I'm struggling. But you can still, sometimes it might not be financial. So you can reach out to them, find out what the challenges are. To me, I feel, and you see, the world is changing. Back in the days, we had only 2 genders, male and female. Now we have close to 76. To me, I also feel it is a part of the mental struggles that people are going through. To marry another female, to date another female, it's not for me. I want to date somebody of the other sex. Or me, this is the way God created me, but I think I want to move to something else. And it's going to get more, it's going to also get worse. So we need to also understand that. But you see, these are real struggles. People need to be able to call people out. And I see where you can have close friends, senior colleagues. Some people even find it in where they worship, whether in mosque or in churches, where you can lean on somebody and say, hey, this is the challenge I am having in terms of stress. I had a friend, let me just share this real quick. His own struggle was he's closer to 35. He has never dated anybody before. He doesn't know how to go about it. He's worried. He thought he would have even gotten married by now. And he said, look, this is his own big challenge. So if he had a senior, doesn't have a senior brother, he doesn't have any guidance, so to speak, somebody that can just put him through, mentor him. So we can look back and say, small thing like this, I've dated several people, but that's his own problem. And I'm happy that he can. I'm happy that he could share. So imagine him meeting the right person. I say, oh, this is something I can just easily guide you through a couple of lessons, and you will now become somebody that is stronger, have confidence to approach ladies, and it's a minor thing. So that will be it for me.
As usual, we want to spend so much time with you. I know you've picked one or two things, but this is my parting shots. Life is like swimming. When you're tired, ask for help, or you will drown. But before you drown, you will sink. That sinking is what you should not do. Raise your hand, ask for help, and everything will be fine. Thank you so much for this wonderful episode.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sure people will request for more. This is nice. Special thanks to our guests, Victor Diali and Akin, for sharing insights that challenge and inspire. Remember, being a man is more than titles or expectations. It is about resilience, purpose, and lifting others as you rise. Let's continue this important conversation. Follow Achievement Channel on Instagram, on Facebook, on X, Twitter, and YouTube for more Achievement program and updates. Use the hashtag We See Possibilities and share your thoughts with us. Until next time, keep striving, keep growing, and keep achieving.
Hi, my name is Olufemi Shea. I'm CEO of Casafina Development. I'd like to tell you this. Keep watching Achievement Channel.
Hello, my name is Roma Daniels. This is Achievement Channel. Please keep watching Achievement Channel, the first and only motivational channel in the country. Thanks, man.
Good day and welcome to Achievement News, right on the Achievement Channel, Nigeria's first 100% motivational television. My name is Comfort Idongise Basi, your guide through the stories of triumph, innovation, and positive impact shaping our world. Broadcasting live from our School of Eloquence studio in Ikoyi, Lagos, we bring you the news that truly inspires. At Achievement News, we believe in celebrating human ingenuity, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of progress. We sift through the headlines to bring you the breakthroughs, the milestones, and the uplifting narratives that prove possibilities around and true achievement is within reach for everyone. Our top story in global health brings a monumental breakthrough for millions worldwide. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic in the United States have announced the development of a new blood test with remarkable accuracy for detecting early symptoms of Alzheimer's diseases. And this revolution test boasts an impressive 95% accuracy in detection and an 82% accuracy in ruling out the condition. And this is a game changer, moving us beyond invasive and costly procedures like the PET scan, offering a far more accessible and affordable diagnostic tool for this devastating neurodegenerative disease.
Alzheimer's disease, amyloid plaques that exist in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. The reason it's so exciting is that as a blood test, it's a very easy and accessible way for us to find people who have Alzheimer's disease pathology.
This breakthrough reminds us that even against the most complex challenges, human ingenuity persists. Never give up on the pursuit of solutions, and your persistent effort in any field can unlock breakthroughs that changes lives forever. We see possibilities. Bringing it home, Nigeria has showcased remarkable commitments to its health sector on the global stage. At the recent 15th BRICS Health Ministers meeting in Brazil, Nigeria's Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Isaac Saluko, proudly announced a national record: the vaccination of over 14 million girls against human papillomavirus or HPV. This massive effort is a huge stride towards cervical cancer prevention. Furthermore, Nigeria has allocated a significant $200 million in its 2025 budget to sustain critical interventions against HIV and AIDS, tuberculosis, malaria, underscoring our nation's resolve to prioritize health, even amidst global funding shifts. Every step taken in collective health is a step towards collective strength. Your personal commitment to well-being and community health contributes to a healthier, more prosperous nation for all. We see possibilities. From global health to global education, UNESCO is sparking a powerful vision for the future. Marking the 10-year anniversary of the International Day of Women and Girls in Science, UNESCO has launched its Imagine a World with More Women in Science campaign. This initiative champions the essential role women play in driving progress in STEM fields, highlighting how diversity leads to more inclusive research, greater creativity, and ultimately solutions that truly meet everyone's needs. The campaign aims to bridge the persistent gender gap in scientific communities worldwide. Let this campaign ignite your curiosity, challenge stereotypes in your own life, and encourage the next generation, especially our girls, to explore every field from science to art. The potential is limitless, and we see possibilities. And speaking of limitless potential, a Nigerian youth has made our nation proud on the global stage. Stanley Chudubem Anigbogu clinched the prestigious overall title of 2025 Commonwealth Young Person of the Year. Stanley was recognized for his groundbreaking work transforming waste into solar innovations, which have provided clean energy to over 10,000 refugees across Africa. His organization, LightEd, founded during the challenging period of COVID-19, has also trained 6,000 students and recycled over 20,000 kilograms of waste. Stanley's story is a powerful reminder that age is just a number when passion meets purpose. No challenge is too big when you approach it with creativity and a desire to make a difference. Inspire change in your own sphere. We see possibilities. Tune in again for more achievement news, your daily source of positivity. Visit us at www.achievementchannel.com and join the movement #WeSeePossibilities. That's all on the achievement news for today. Remember, every day brings new opportunities for growth, progress, and impact. Keep achieving, keep inspiring, and most importantly, keep believing in the power of possibility. My name is Comfort Idongse Basi, and I'm wishing you a truly impactful day.
Welcome to Teachers World, where we celebrate the heroes of education. Join us on Teachers World, only on the Achievement Channel.
Hello, and welcome to another inspiring episode of Teachers World, the program that celebrates the pivotal role of educators in shaping the future and provides valuable resources for their professional and personal growth. I am Ugonwa Ohuchi, your host, and I'm delighted to be with you today. You are watching the Achievement Channel, Nigeria's first and only 100% motivational TV station, broadcasting from the School of Eloquence studio in Ikoyi, Lagos. In today's episode, we'll be diving deep into how teachers can support the mental health of their students and foster a positive learning environment. It's going to be an insightful session, so stay tuned.
Join us on Teachers World, only on the Achievement Channel.
I'm thrilled to introduce our guest today, Ms. Sarah Ndo. She's an educational psychologist and a dedicated mental health advocate who specializes in children and adolescents. She believes in a world where no child is neglected and every child receives the right education tailored to their unique learning style. Miss Ndu, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So in your experience, knowing that you're an educational psychologist, what are some of the key mental health challenges that children and adolescents face today?
Okay, yes. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, in my experience, adolescents and children, they face quite a number of mental health challenges. And firstly, mental health is a crucial part of teaching and learning. A lot of children and adolescents face mental health challenges, which is neglected by either their parents or their teachers. And I will just make mention of few challenges here. One, let's talk about anxiety and stress. Anxiety and stress, a lot of children and adolescents are anxious and under stress because of, let's say, an expectation from family, expectation from parents, peer pressure, thereabouts. And they are under, a certain kind of expectation from family, which puts them under pressure where they need to have a certain kind of academic success. And if they are not, able to meet up with that kind of expectation from family or parents, they are under pressure and they're anxious. So another is trauma. Trauma is a key mental health factor. Most children have traumatic experiences, or they have what we call the PTSD, that's a post-traumatic stress disorder, where they begin to express whatever trauma they've had in the past. For instance, growing up, they probably had abusive parents, or they were abused as a child. And because they were abused, it's, would affect their mental health, affect the way they think, affect the way they process things, and even find it difficult to learn during the classroom activities.
Okay, I think this is quite insightful. Talking about parents not being aware sometimes of these challenges of the children. What are some of the practical strategies that, what role, do you think educators, can play in addressing these challenges? What are the strategies that educators can use in addressing these challenges?
Okay, thank you. Educators, which are teachers, first of all, they are the first to actually take notes and figure out when a child is struggling mentally. They are the first to ever notice that a child is struggling mentally. So when a teacher or an educator finds out that this child is struggling mentally, because we teachers pay attention, or rather we spend more time with children in school rather than the way their parents do. A lot of times, most of these parents are actually more busy. They go to work very early in the morning. Before they come back, probably they have someone who picks their child from school, and they come back because of the hustle and the bustle of Lagos. They get back home, they're all tired. They pay less attention to their children. So we teachers pay more attention to these children because we spend more time. So first of all, we are the ones who can figure out that a child is struggling mentally. And when we can do that, we begin to observe. We observe their academic performance, their socializing skill, if they isolate themselves or they are just irritable, they just flare up just by a little thing, they're angry or whatever. So one, we're able to observe, and while we observe that, we educators or teachers are supposed to now call this child, draw the attention of this child, and have a conversation, not being judgmental, have a conversation, just get to know what the matter is there something, is there a problem at home? And by the time the teachers have had that conversation, they can now furthermore take it to the parents, get to involve the parent of this child and pay attention to it. Furthermore, if it's something that they think they should involve the school authorities, they should get the school authorities involved.
This is so true. Picking the point of being in Lagos, where a lot of parents are actually really busy. I think I agree with you that now educators have an even greater role to play, especially in Lagos, knowing that many parents are busy, so they don't get to see the children as much as they would want to see the children, or they should see the children. So what can you give us some specific strategies, maybe one or two strategies that you think that teachers can use to support their students to support their mental health in the classroom while they're teaching?
Okay, some of the strategic methods that practical strategies that teachers can use to support the mental health of students. I would want to talk about growing up. It was quite difficult for me to learn because I had challenges socializing. I didn't know how to speak up. I had a very low self-esteem, so I didn't know how to. It was quite uncomfortable for me in class. And also because of the fact that I had challenges academically, where that term of a child being a dullard came from. I struggled with that. I struggled academically. I couldn't, I didn't have good grades. I didn't have good grades growing up. And it now made the teachers and even my, classmates, look at me in a certain way. There's always that, that stigma that comes with children who do not perform well academically. And with that, these children are not comfortable. So first of all, the first practical strategy every teacher can take is, creating a positive learning environment. No child is a dullard. Don't make any child feel like because they are being anxious in class when they ask them a question, or they fidget when they are being called to give a speech or something. They might be struggling with a mental health challenge that you do not know. And instead of making them feel less of themselves, create a positive environment. Make them know that they can do better. They can do better than that. And secondly, have inclusive learning environment where you have to involve every child in a learning activity. You don't have to say, because this is a brilliant person or that is a brilliant person, then they should be the one to be pushed in any class activity. Involve everybody. Let every child be involved in any classroom activity. Practicalize it. Give them a group discussion. Give them a group work to do. And in that way, we can actually have a good teaching learning process.
Thank you so much for sharing your own personal experience, because it makes a world of difference when we hear from your personal experience. If I can reiterate what you have said about the strategies, creating a positive first and inclusive learning environment. Those are excellent points, Ms. Indu. Thank you so much. Could you also give us an insight into how teachers can identify when a student actually needs support pertaining to their mental health in the classroom?
All right, thank you.
And what steps they could possibly take to support.
All right, thank you so much. I would say that teachers can they can get to know when a child is actually struggling mentally by observing. Observation is one of the key things to know. Every teacher is like, I say teachers are second parents. Teachers are second parents, where after their biological parents, then we have the teachers. So the first thing that they can do is to observe. When they've been able to observe the students, that's why they have to be able to pay attention to every child in their classroom, pay attention to every one of them, and observe their, academic performance, observe their socializing skills, observe the way they interact with their fellow classmates and all of that. So by the time you're able to observe that, this child was doing better last term, but this term now your grades are reducing. What's the matter? Then the steps they can take is that when they figured out that this child has a declining academic performance, then they would call this child aside, get to have a one-on-one communication with them, have a conversation with them, just create a positive, a non-judgmental atmosphere where this child can confide in them and get to talk, get to explain what it is, because children and adolescents do not like to talk about things. They prefer, keeping things to themselves. But when you are able to create, a calm, good, and positive environment, a non-judgmental one, trust me, they'll be able to open up with time. It might take a lot of time, but they would with time. And when you've been able to do that, the next step is to get their parents involved. Or if you feel getting the parents involved might be too much, you can tell the school authorities to get, probably a guidance or a counseling, strategy or so, a guide. A guidance counselor to help. Or, have a specialist, a mental health specialist in their school where they can actually assist the child. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Ndu. These are excellent points that you have raised. So we will be taking a short break now. So you are still watching the Achievement Channel, and we're here with Ms. Ndu. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
For us here at the School of Eloquence, our primary focus is on the art of public speaking, because it's a major problem. And public speaking, we must understand, is the raw art of speaker to audience oral communication.
I got a lot more than I actually expected. I have overcome the fears I used to have.
The more you speak, the better you are at speaking.
School of Eloquence is the place you can be, and there's a turnaround. That change you're expecting, you get it there.
Welcome back to our program Teachers World. You are still watching the Achievement Channel here in the School of Eloquence studio in Ikoyi, and we're still with Miss Sarah Ndu Adanna, our educational psychologist.
Thank you.
Miss Ndu, before the break, we were talking about how you gave us insight into how teachers can observe when a student actually needs support and what to do about that. So earlier on, you had told us you had shared your own personal story. But as a follow-up, could you share a particular thing done by maybe a specific teacher that helped you out of that situation, or something that could help, that we could learn from?
Thank you. Back then in my primary school, I think I would have to just give a good background story. So it was quite difficult for me to assimilate, and that was because the way I was being taught was not my learning style. So that's where the educational psychology of children comes in. It wasn't my learning style, meaning there are different ways children learn, and there is a teaching method applicable for that learning style. So because of that, I found it difficult to learn. So for instance, I'm a visual learner. I learn better visually. I rather see what you're teaching me than just giving me theoretical, aspect of what you're teaching me. So that affected the way I learned and assimilated knowledge, which now made it, hard for me to read and write exams and have good grades. So fast forward to when some teachers, a particular teacher paid attention, and she called me, what is this? What's the matter? Is there something wrong? Is there anything at home? And there's a problem and all of that. And what she did was so profound to me, because after she had a conversation with me, I didn't even know, because I was young. I didn't even know that, I had that as a challenge. So after she now realized that it's actually the way, and it's not like I didn't know how to read, write, and I did that, but I needed a better way to learn, which was a visual aspect of learning. So what she now did was that she now involved my parents, and, told them that it's better off that, they get involved in my academics by, helping me to, having technologies like, other things to assist, like after school work, whatever thing that's been done from school, my parents should be able to, help me visually to learn, yes, probably with a phone or something, yes, just so that I can, be able to, and that helped for a while, that helped for a while. Also, I was not able to, now understand better what was learned. And with that, that now made me understand that I learned better visually. So fast forward into my secondary school and university days, I now understood that whatever is being taught theoretically, because of the Nigerian system of education, they do what they can do, the lecture method, give it to you and you're out. So I now understood better that this lecture method is not going to stick. All I have to do is that I go on YouTube, look for means to, get what was taught in class. And trust me, when I do that, watch those videos, yeah. And when I do that, I'm able to understand every single thing that was taught in class. And that way, I had better academic performance.
Beautiful. This is a powerful example of how one teacher, the care taken by one teacher, actually made a huge difference in your life. Thank you so much for sharing this story with us. Now, let's talk about self-care for teachers.
Okay.
Teaching is a demanding job.
Of course.
You agree, and I know that because I have the experience. And teachers also need to prioritize their own mental well-being. So what advice do you have for teachers for they themselves?
Okay, thank you. Teachers, first of all, you are not a therapist. It's not in your role to want to act the role of a therapist to every child. But I tell you, it is most important that you also prioritize your mental health, because if you are affected mentally, you cannot give in your best to every child that needs your support. So I would advise that prioritize your mental health as a teacher. Seek support if need be. Go for professional therapeutic sessions with mental health practitioners. Have one-on-one sections with them, and get to understand your own mental health and whatever I think you are struggling with and the solution that will be preferred to you. Prioritize your mental health. Take out time. Don't even overload yourself with work. It's hard, of course, as a teacher. It's hard. You need to, it's demanding. You need to meet the needs of every child in the school, but make sure you take out time for yourself. There are a lot of teachers that want to do a lot of things at the same time, where they, they are, after the school activity, after the school time that they've had in school, they still, have extra lessons in, with students. It's not wrong to have that, but most times, most teachers do that to, like, in different houses, home lessons. Yeah, they have home lessons over the week, over the weekend, all of that, just to, like, meet up with things. But most times when you overwork yourself as a teacher, you would realize that when it's the first day of the week, that's on a Monday, you are stressed out. You wouldn't put in so much for the students that actually need your help and support. So make sure you prioritize your mental health. Reduce every stress as possible as you can. Reduce it, because whatever you have is what you can give out. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Sundu. So finally, for the teachers who are watching us today, what is your message, your takeaway message for them, at least just in one sentence?
All right. Thank you very much. So my takeaway message to teachers is this: you play a vital role in the future of every child. You either make their future or you destroy their future. No child should be left behind. No child is a dullard. please put in the best efforts that you can in making their future. And they will thank you for how much effort that you did. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure, Miss Ndu. Thank you so much for being on the program with us today. And we've gone away with this insight: no child should be left behind. Thank you.
Join us on Teachers World, only on the Achievement Channel.
That's it for today on Teachers World. Remember, small actions can make a big difference in a child's life. And by prioritizing mental health, you're not just shaping students, you are shaping futures. Would like to hear from you. Share your thoughts, experiences, and questions on social media using the hashtag #TeachersWorld. Let's keep the conversation going. Follow us at Achievement Channel on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for daily doses of inspiration, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes updates. Use the hashtag #WeSeePossibilities and share your thoughts with us. Stay inspired, stay focused, and keep seeing possibilities on the Achievement Channel, where we see possibilities.
Join us on Teachers World, only on the Achievement Channel.
Mr. Motivator, Mr. Motivator, Mr. Motivator, Mr. Motivator Minute.
Mr. Motivator.
Mr. Motivator, Mr. Motivator Minute.
Mr. Motivator, the challenge to perform.
Every morning we're told in Africa that the gazelle wakes up with a clear determination that it must run faster than the fastest lion in order not to be eaten alive. Every morning we're told that the lions also wake up determined to run faster than the slowest gazelle, otherwise they will starve. Well, there's a moral to this anecdote. It is simply this: that it doesn't matter whether you're the lion or the gazelle. What truly matters is that when morning comes, you had better get up and get going. It's the dawn of a brand new day, and I'm here to ask you, what do you want to achieve today? Where do you want to go with your life, with your goals, with your aspirations? What sort of difference are you seeking to make in whatever it is you've chosen for yourself to do? My job is to challenge you to perform. My job is to inspire you, to energize you, and to bring to you all of the resources that you will need so that you can indeed say to yourself that, yes, I had this morning with Mr. Motivator.
Mr. Motivator.
Mr. Motivator, Mr. Motivator Minute.
Walt Disney, the founder of Disneyland, once said that all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. We're going to be discussing what I consider my favorite subject matter. It is the subject matter of dreams, the subject matter of setting goals for yourself, of aspiring to achieve the impossible. Most times, what we think is impossible is actually something waiting to be done by someone else. In fact, as Napoleon once put it, that impossible is only a word to be found in the dictionary of fools. And I know you are not a fool. So when we talk about dreams, what are the 4 major things that you need to know in order to live a successful life driven by the power of dreams? Number 1, you must dream big dreams. Dream the dreams of giants. Dream a dream that might look so impossible at the outset, but you need a dream to be so big so as to enable it to challenge you, to inspire you. It's always very important to realize that you were not made for small things. As a matter of fact, every one of us is made to do something big at one point in time or the other in our lives. So dream a dream that stimulates you, that excites you every morning to want to get up and go. That's the first principle. Number two, you must draft the dream. Put it down in writing. Maybe you need to sculpt it, paint it. In whichever way you can, put it out there. Make it tangible so that people can see and relate to it. And number three, you must declare your dreams. Tell people about your dreams. We're not asking you to discuss your dreams, but I'm saying to you, declare it. Let people know what it is you are seeking to accomplish in your life or in whatever field of human endeavor that you've set out to do. And then finally, number four is this. And this is where it all comes together. You must do what the dream demands of you to do. If the distance be not traveled, the destination will never be reached. Dreams will remain pie in the sky if we do not take action. So what actions are you taking? Set goals. Specifically begin to outline what you need to do so that you can begin to work towards them. I leave you with the words of a young lady who was challenged and people felt her dreams were impossible. In fact, they said to her, "Your dreams are not real." Then she replied by saying, "The dream is real. It is the failure to make it happen that is the unreality." Dream big dreams.
Mr. Motivator. Mr. Motivator. Mr. Motivator.
Mr. Motivator, the challenge to perform.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Career Success on the Achievement Channel, where we delve into the stories, strategies, and secrets of remarkable individuals who are shaping the future of industries and organizations. I am Oyin Priye Krumale, and today we have an incredible guest, a man whose expertise in leadership, strategy, and organizational transformation has propelled senior executives and companies towards unimaginable success. He is none other than Dr. Maxwell Ubah. Is a highly sought-after consultant specializing in strategy, leadership, cultural alignment, and organizational transformation. He is the CEO of Strategy House. Dr. Maxwell holds the prestigious Sloan Fellowship in Leadership and Strategy from the London Business School, and that was in 2011. He is a graduate of medicine and surgery from the College of Medicine, University of Lagos, Akoka, in 1997, where he graduated with a distinction in physiology and was the best medical student in basic medical sciences in 1992. He's a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Management Consultants, United States and in Canada. Is also a fellow of International Management Consultants Board, that's also in the United States, a chartered management consultant, accredited management consultant, and a member Institute of Training and Development, and also learning development specialist, Learning and Development Network International. That's quite a robust one. And today, guess what? He is here to tell his career success story and share insights that will inspire and empower you to unlock your potential. Welcome once again to the program. Guess what? Drum rolls, and we have Dr. Maxwell Ubah here. Hello, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome to Career Success.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Happy to share my story with the audience. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Okay. First of all, let me say this. Whilst I was reading your profile, I believe our viewers will be thinking I'm expecting to see somebody like 10 feet tall, huge, big and strong. Of course, you look huge, big and strong, but it looks like you appear like physically like a model. So I don't know what you've been doing to keep yourself on shape like this, but I'll advise that you keep on doing that.
Thank you.
So straight to business of the day. Where did it all start?
I think it started well in Lagos, because that was where I was born. I was born in Lagos. I did my primary school in Lagos, in actually a local government that you call a Jeremy Felodu local government.
Ajegunle?
Yes.
No way.
Some people don't believe this particular
No,
side
I can't.
of the
You don't
story.
look it.
Because and for me, it's also a message of hope that your background doesn't have to define you. It doesn't matter where you were born. You can actually become what you want to become in life. So it was in a Jeremy Felodu primary school that I did my primary school. But something significant in primary school, I was an average student in primary school. I remembered my first time primary 1 was 14, second 13, third 14. But somewhere in primary 5, there was a major turnaround. And what happened was, I saw during the PTA, Parent Teachers Association Day, where the best student was given an award, and I saw my classmate walking down the aisle and everybody celebrating them. And there and then I said to myself, in primary 6, I'm going to win this prize. That was what I said to myself internally. And guess what? For the very first time in my life, it was in primary 6, first time primary 6 that I came first. And one lesson I learned is that I took from that experience that the decisions you make actually propels you to greatness. And a lot of people are not maximizing their potential because they've not gotten to that point where they say to themselves, this is who I want to be, or put in another way, I deserve more. So you can be comfortable with your result. The day you get to that point where you say to yourself, as an individual, I actually deserve more. The people that are being promoted after every 6 months or 1 year, why can't it be me? And that was what I said to myself in primary school, and it started the journey. Then to secondary school was where the major success story happened. I did my first GCE in JSS 2.
What school was that?
From Reservation Secondary School.
Ah, no way. No way. The reason why I'm saying this, because if you know where a Jeremy Felodu Primary School is, that's in Ajegunle. I'm sure you've heard stories about that place. And let alone Reservation Secondary School, that should be in Apapa.
Yes, Tolu Schools Complex.
Tolu Schools Complex.
So for people
it's a dangerous area for secondary school students at that point in time.
At that point, yes.
You could hardly tell if those students have any vision or plans of becoming someone in life. I'm just trying to paint a picture. It's coming from somewhere very deep. And for the fact that he has emerged the way he is now is something to be applauded.
Yeah, thank you. So the school was Reservation Secondary School. Like you said, in the 80s, the Tolu Schools Complex is notorious for gang activities, criminal activities, and all that. But I was fortunate, blessed, lucky, whatever you want to use, to have a teacher who, his name is Mr. A.B. Adelusi, who called me and some other boys and said to us in JSS 1 that we should go home and tell our teacher, our parents, that we're going to write GC in JSS 2. In fact, when I went home and announced that I was going to write GC in JSS 2, I didn't really know what GCE was. This was 1980, 86 there, but I didn't know what GCE was. I was just excited about announcing GCE to my parents. I remember what my late elder brother said. He said, because of you, WAEC will create F10. And I asked him, I asked him then, what is F10? He said, F9 is 0 to 39, but your result will be so bad that WAEC will create F10 because of you. Cut the long story short, the teacher started preparing us for GCE. Eventually, I entered for 3 subjects in 1987. I did my GCE in 7th Avenue Primary School in JSS 2. I did maths and physics and English in JSS 2. And I had a C4 in maths, a C6 in physics, and a C6 in English in JSS 2.
Wow.
By SS1, 1989, I was the second best science student in the whole of Lagos State. So in
wow.
Yes, in 1989, I represented Lagos State in a national quiz. The overall best came from Queen's College. Then I need to mention it from Queen's College. Then I was in SS1 and the lady was in SS2. So we represented Lagos State in national quiz. And the lesson for me also is that even in a bad situation like Tolu, I had a teacher. And everybody can benefit from having a model, a mentor that can shape your future academically or in your career. So that's what happened in secondary school. And I wanted to do I know because people will ask.
That's an excellent story. I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Please go on.
Thank you. So I in 1989. So when I wrote my papers in 1989, my first choice was to do engineering because physics was my easiest science subject. But those days, if you're very intelligent in the sciences, you are pushed towards medicine. And so I said to myself, I like challenge, and University of Lagos was the highest cutoff mark. And if I can do GC in JSS2, I should be able to enter University of Lagos first time. And I wrote my GC in 1990, entered. 1990 was the year they cancelled English, and I scored 244 over 300. I had
244?
Yes, I had a 90 in physics, a 78 in chemistry, and a 76 in biology. So I entered University of Lagos. And in my second MB, which is what they call the most difficult exam then in school, I don't know about now, I had a distinction in physiology, and I was the best student in my class. And I won the University of Lagos Prize, the College of Medicine Prize, the Provost of Medicine Prize in 1992. But somewhere along the line, I had to make a detour from medicine.
Okay, now before you move on or start telling us how you detoured and what prompted that, this is quite inspiring. Your foray, your movement from primary, from that environment, secondary school, then university. So now I'm going to say you're a medical doctor. So you kind of decipher what's wrong with people's health and how you need to fix them up so they can be healthy and go about their daily lives. But now you have to fix organizations. First of all, what made you study medicine? Secondly, why the detour?
Two very important questions. Why did I study medicine? I think I mentioned it the last time. I wanted to do engineering. And in fact, even in school, when I say this, some people are surprised. I read Nikon and Packard, the physics textbook, from the first page to the last page. I read Abbott from the first page to the last page. So physics
that name sounds familiar, Abbott.
Abbott. Physics, I knew physics at the tip, you understand. I knew physics very well. It was the easiest for me science subject. I wanted to do engineering. My daddy, late of blessed memory, wanted a doctor. And since they said intelligent, the best science students should read medicine, so societal pressure with that of family expectation pushed me into medicine. But I remember what my late mother said when I was filling my JAMB form. He said, do you think you have the mannerism, the attributes, the personality traits to become a doctor? I said, Mommy, I can. He said, it's not about your intelligence, it's also about your character, about your personality and all that. So med school, I was in med school doing well academically. Second MB did well, never failed any exam in med school. But somewhere in my 5th year, my daddy died. So the motivation for medicine also died with him, because it was the primary reason then that I was doing medicine, coupled with the fact that I had a bit of that clash between my personality and the practice of medicine. So I just said to myself in 5th year, I think I need to find something else that aligns with my passion or something that aligns with my personality. And that was why I made the change. So why did I start studying organizations? It was in that 5th year when I decided I was going to leave medicine. I started asking myself questions. My professors are people we revere, we worship, we idolize, because we need to read their textbooks to become doctors. But I noticed that when they are given positions, HOD, Dean of Basic Sciences, Dean of Clinical Medicine, and all that, or provost of the college, we noticed that they couldn't lead well. And I started asking myself in 5th year med school, what does it take to lead a group of people, an organization, a department well? And that was what led me to start reading Peter Drucker's book in 5th year med school.
Okay, now, sorry, I need to stop you now. I know we are due for a break, and my producer is trying to prompt me for that, but I'm going to have to just take the risk to ask you one more question before we do that. What was motivating you, pushing you on the inside in all of this? Because it sounded adventurous, and also you sound like you were enjoying it. So what was the motivation for you?
I think the first motivation for me then in school is that I want to be the best that I can be in any field I find myself. That's the first thing. And secondly is that I wanted to play to my strength And thirdly is also I want to help people. It might be in medicine, it might be arts of medicine, but ultimately I want to help people become, because what do doctors do? Doctors help people become better in their health. I help people become better as leaders and lead the organization. So that's my own way of helping people and contributing to society. At the end of the day, that's the things that motivate me. I want to be my best. I want to maximize my giftings and my talents. And ultimately, it means nothing if it doesn't help somebody become better.
Okay. Now, thank you very much. We're going to go on a break. And when we are back from this break, Dr. Maxwell Ubah is still going to be here. He's going to start talking to us about his foray into the next part, which is talking about leadership, strategic thinking, and organizational reforms. Then we're going to be looking at some of the challenges he faced whilst he was doing that. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
For us here at the School of Eloquence, our primary focus is on the art of public speaking, because it's a major problem. And public speaking, we must understand, is the raw art of speaker to audience oral communication.
I got a lot more than I actually expected. I have overcome the few years I used to have.
The more you speak, the better you are at speaking.
School of Eloquence is the place you can be, and there's a turnaround. That change you are expecting, you get it there.
Welcome back, and many thanks for joining us right here on the Achievement Channel. And this is Career Success. Still have in the studio with me Dr. Maxwell Ubah. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
Now, so you were going to delve into how you got into organizational transformation and your intention for that purpose. Yes.
So I said it was that 50, and I said, okay, what can I do? And in that process of asking, why is it that intelligent people, professors with different degrees, cannot lead a department, a unit, the school of medicine? And that was what led me into strategy and leadership, saying, okay, how can people lead better? How can people lead better? And so I started reading Peter Drucker's book. So and there's a similarity. In medicine, one of the postings I did in medicine was dermatology. So we are all dressed up, suited. In dermatology, we're dealing with skin diseases. And I found out that when you remove the clothes of some people, there's a lot of things that people are going through, and they need help. Same thing with organizations. You see the big building, it looks all nice and fancy and the rest. If you go internally, you find out that people are going through a lot of challenges. And those challenges stems from poor leadership. And I said, Maxwell, can you become like an organizational doctor, helping organizations and dealing with those people-related issues in that organization? And for me, that's one of the greatest joy I have, helping organizations become effective.
How do you think people can learn from this? Because you sat down by yourself, and from what you got from reading other people's books, you were able to decipher what you think, or the path you think you should take for now. But right now, as we speak, reading is a culture that is dying in our society. So how can you inspire people to take this line again to discover more?
So if you put everything I've said today, let me start by saying that you can become anything you want to be in life, but you cannot become everything. So when we try to motivate people, we need to let people know that they cannot become everything, but they can become one thing, and you can become the best in that one thing. So the first thing I need to say to the person is that you need to find that one thing that you can become the best in, that one thing that plays to your strength, that one thing that is in line with who you think you are. That's the first thing you need to start. What is that one thing? If I need to reduce my life to one sentence, what would that one sentence be? That's the first thing I need to say here. The second thing I need to say here is that you require the role of a mentor. It took the teacher, the example of the teacher that I said, to help me discover that. Then you come to the point of personal decision. I also made a decision that this is what I want to do with my life. I made a decision that I'm going to come first in PharmacS. I'm going to get a distinction in physiology. It's a decision that I made. Then you support that with every other thing about hard work and all that. So reading, of course, you need to read because you need to discover what others have discovered. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Medicine, I think the discipline of medicine is that it forces us to read. That's what the discipline of medicine. Our textbooks are quite big. You need to find out what are the root causes of the disease and all that. So in any field that you have chosen, you need to read. And there's a common saying that is out there, the 10,000 hour principle, that if you invest 10,000 hours in anything, you become an expert in that particular thing. So go back again. You need to choose the field you think you can become the very best in. You need to find the right mentors. You need to make the right decision. Then you need to read.
Okay. In all of this, you know, just listening to your story, it sounds so inspiring, and some other people could feel like, let me just jump on it and ride on it. But were there some difficulties? Were there some mountainous problems and challenges you encountered? And if there were some of them, how did you maneuver?
I think the challenges I encountered was when I was trying to make the transition from medicine and out of medicine. A lot of people did not understand why would somebody who did well in medicine wants to leave medicine. And the truth of the matter is that not everybody will understand your dream. Not everybody will understand your goal. Elon Musk, for example, had an opportunity to do PhD in Stanford, and he deferred his program and never completed it and pursued his entrepreneurial dream. Some people might say maybe because he wanted to remain in America, but more of his entrepreneurial dream. Same thing with the owners of Google. Am I saying you should leave university? No, what I'm saying is that you need to be in tune with yourself. You need to face rejection. That rejection of you want to leave medicine, the ridicule, you want to leave medicine to do something else. For a lot of people, it did not make sense. And sometimes when you want to pursue your dreams, not everybody would understand it. Not everybody would appreciate it. You need to be in tune. Yes, listen to advice, but at the end of the day, follow that path that speaks to who you are. And a path that at the end of the year, at the end of your life, you can look back and say, I lived a fulfilled life because I pursued the cause that was there. I also faced rejection. So moving from medicine to the financial services sector, I started at the very bottom. I had to learn the ropes. I made mistakes, but I bounced back from it. And that's the concept of grit and resilience, that you need to be tenacious. I think for me, one lesson people can take from me is that I have made transitions in life, and you can also make that transition, but you will face challenges. Just persist and you will overcome it at the end.
Were you scared?
No, I wasn't. I think that maybe the classic David killing the lion and the bird, and he could face Goliath, because I had done GCE in JSS 2 at age 13. An exam that is for people that are older. I think it emboldened me somehow. I wasn't scared of failing. In fact, my greatest fear is not living up to my potential, not failing. I can accept failure. And failure is maybe you're not maximized, you did not make the target. What I cannot accept is not trying. And that's for me my greatest fear. Try, give it your all, go out on a limb. And at the end of the day, if you don't meet the target, learn the lesson, but not what you call failure. Failure is an event, not a person. So I wasn't scared of failing. I was scared of not trying. That's what I was scared of. And I said, Maxwell, it is when I try, then I'll know whether I'm capable of it or not. So I tried GCE, I found that I was capable. I did it in SS1, I tried it, I found that I was capable. It was when I tried and I can come to that fact of, is it a problem of capacity? Is it a problem of motivation? Is it a problem of discipline? But I'm not scared of failure.
Okay. Now, some of the pictures you sent me, I saw you were standing in the midst of some of your clients or some of your students whom you're tutoring and you were teaching, and I saw that there was also a picture where it's like you were exchanging pleasantries with the commissioner of police. And so when you encounter these people, you deal with people on a daily basis in organizations, what do you think is the basic problem about people and getting to the pinnacle of their career? And how can that be solved?
So I think it depends on the context you want to look at it, you understand? So I've been privileged to speak before governors, I've been privileged to speak before CEOs and great men in the Nigerian society. But performance challenges, so you can look at people have performance challenges, and it is broken down universally into five buckets for performance challenges. Number one is clarity. Number two is capacity. Number three is motivation. Number four is resources. And number five is consequences. At the end of the day, every performance challenge that people face will fall in one of these five. So from an organizational standpoint, it's in one of these five. From an individual standpoint, maybe the person is not motivated. Maybe the person thinks he doesn't have the resources. Maybe it's a problem of capacity. The person doesn't have the skill sets to do that. Maybe the person is not even aware. Or maybe the person doesn't understand the concept of consequence management. At the end of the day, every problem that an individual faces, we can drill it into one of these five. The reason why people will keep doing things that are wrong is because there's no consequence management in the Nigerian society.
Okay.
So I think for me, the way forward is the individual to decide that this is what I want to do and I want to achieve in my life. You know, Stephen Covey says you can be an island of excellence in a sea of mediocrity. So in spite of the challenges I see in the Nigerian society and these five problems, there are one or two individuals who, in spite of these challenges, in spite of the resource issue, in spite of this, are still succeeding.
Okay. Now, I want to know moments where success emerged in your face, career-wise and otherwise, where, you know, maybe promotion and maybe where the plaques, the gifts, the accolades came in. At what section of the career did it came in, and how did you receive those?
I think my career is also, in every place I've worked, I've been commended. So I worked in banking, you understand. I was promoted when I was in banking to an assistant manager in 2004, you understand. So in every place in medicine, we don't have that promotions like that because I didn't stay so long in medicine. But my professors commended me. So what I would say for me is, if you do a good job, so even some in other banks that I worked, I got offers. I got people who wanted me to come and join them because they had the work I was doing. But I am not particularly, let me put it this way, the first joy I derive from my work is the joy of doing a great job. And so when somebody, today I did a presentation for a company and the person said, Maxwell, where's Maxwell? Call him, he's never late. That's the first joy. The joy of people knowing that I do a great job. The second joy is not the joy of the external reward that comes.
Okay.
But and did I have it in a lot of my career? Of course I did. And when it comes, because I was expecting it didn't come as a surprise.
Okay.
The only that organization I told you where there was a delay because they didn't believe in rewarding excellence, and I said to them, if it doesn't happen when I want it, I'm going to leave. So that's how I respond to that particular question.
Okay, so lastly, tell us, what advice do you have for Nigerian youths, the young people of these days who are somehow trying to, like, okay, where do I go from here? What do I do? Should I study medicine? Okay, should I go into this business? Am I going to resign from my jobs and take up entrepreneuring? Or what should I do? They are confused.
Okay, so let me speak to, just quickly, because of our time, I'll speak to people at work. Let me speak to people that are already working. Somebody asked me, if I want to give an advice to a young person starting his career, what would I say to the person? I said just 3 things. Number one is, wherever you find yourself, do a good job. That's the first principle I tell you. Make excellence your watchword wherever you find yourself. Number two is develop skills for the future. The fact that you're in a particular job doesn't mean that that job will be relevant for the future. So you need to make sure you develop skills for the future. And number three is that you find a great mentor or a sponsor for you. If you put it to somebody deciding his career also, or a young person about to go to school, yes, I know that you need to ask yourself in the future what courses or skills will be relevant, and you can make the decision right now. So if I find myself in a particular course, it's okay, it's fine, but develop the skills that will be relevant for the future, because in the future we know that some courses will not be as relevant as they are now in the future. So whatever decision you make, whether it's medicine, whether it's law, whether it's psychology, just make sure that whatever course you want to study and career path you want to choose will be relevant in the next 5-10 years. And if you find yourself in that place, make excellence your watchword. Thank you.
Excellence, develop skill for the future. And lastly,
find a mentor or a sponsor.
Find a mentor or a sponsor. Those are not my words. Those are the words of Dr. Maxwell Ubah, our incredible guest this morning. It's great having you with us today on the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for honoring our invitation. Now, Sam Adeyemi said, successful people are the failures that refuse to quit, while failures are the successful people that quit easily. So, for you, I am saying don't give up on your career goals, your academic goals, your family goals, and all other aspirations you have. If you hold on a little longer, you will arrive at your predetermined destination. I am Oyin Priye Krumale saying bye for now.
A new day dawns, full of possibilities. Take the first step towards your dreams. Empower your mind with positive thoughts. Achieve more. Make a difference in someone's life today. Impossibility is nothing.
Imagine a world transformed by the power of giving, where every act of kindness sparks another. These are the champions who dedicate their lives to change. Together, they are paying it forward. Champions of change. Paying it forward. Join us and be part of the movement. Here on the Achievement Channel.
Welcome to Champions of Change on the Achievement Channel, the show where we celebrate extraordinary individuals making a difference, transforming lives, and inspiring positive change. We're broadcasting from the School of Eloquence studio in Lagos, and today's episode is nothing short of remarkable. Joining us is a man whose life embodies resilience, innovation, and the power of vision, Dr. Cosmas Maduka. From humble beginnings as a teenage hawker to becoming the founder and president of the Coscharis Group, a powerhouse conglomerate spanning automobiles, agriculture, and technology. Dr. Maduka's story is a masterclass in turning challenges into opportunity. With over 4 decades of entrepreneurial excellence, he has not only built an empire, but has become a beacon of hope, proving that dreams fueled by hard work can change lives and communities. I'm your host, Pamela Igbo. You're in for an episode filled with wisdom, inspiration, and actionable lessons. Let's get started.
School of Eloquence, teaching the world to speak.
Welcome, Dr. Cosmas, to Champions of Change. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you, Pamela. It's my pleasure to be here on your show.
Thank you. So this is a show where we honor people who have been doing inspiring things in their communities, and beyond your business acumen, we know that you are a fantastic philanthropist, a mentor. And so I wanted to ask you about your philanthropy and what you think of, corporate social responsibility and how you use that to lead your group in Coscharis.
Okay, well, thank you, Pamela. Again, it's my pleasure to be on your show this time. Corporate social responsibility is at the heart of our company, because if you get to know Coscharis and what we stood for, the inspiration was to create an institution that will be timeless in its relevancy and value. Mm-hmm. So it's not about me, it's not about whosoever, but it's about building something that outlasts the founders. How then are we going to do that? We came up with a mission to say, Coscharis will deliver excellent product and services, giving our customers the highest value for their money, and will contribute to societal development by plowing resources back into the immediate community, growing stronger and waxing bigger into the future, and create a sense of pride in its employees. So, in the ecosystem, corporate responsibility is captured in what we set out to do. We never even said where we are going to be without it being part of the foundation of our organization. And that shows you how important it is. So it's at the very heart of our organization to plow back resources into the immediate community and society.
And I love it because I know that you lead by example. So that's an excellent, excellent thing. So in terms of, I know that Coscharis has expanded in terms of the different things that you offer. And one of the things that you did a few years ago is to get into Coscharis Farms in Anambra. And I know that your initiative there is to create about 3,000 jobs for people in Anambra. Can you tell us a little bit of how that has been going and what transformation you have seen in Anambra State in that community because of that?
Okay, it's important that people understand that Coscharis, in all our business lifetime that is close to 5 decades today, we are not one of those rice importers.
Right.
We never did. So, but Coscharis Farm was also not an accident. It's all about vision and plan. Because where we are today, the property that we acquire, that we are doing the business of farming in Anako, in Anambra State, started over 30 years ago.
Wow.
My daughter would turn 33 this year, but that was when my wife went to give birth to her, that we signed the agreement. Was a different piece of property that we were acquiring. Omeka Omerowa was the governor of Anambra State then, the military administrator who signed the certificate of occupancy. So it was something we had always planned that we are going to do. But you know, my grandfather used to tell me that when you want to choose certain animal, you need to get the right gunpowder. Because if you take a borrowed gunpowder to shoot a chimpanzee, he will collect the gun from you and kill you. In other words, you don't get into farming without having the muzzle, the capacity to be able to take it. So over a period of time, we are in different kind of business, but we have never really get into, you know, real sector of economy where you add value, because buying and selling is not really how the economy grow. It's part of it. But the buying and selling is a starting point for you to grow, but keep your eyes on the big picture where ultimately you want it to be. By 2012, 2013, we started planning to go and develop this farmland. It's a quite a piece of property. Because some people ask me, is it real that you have 3,000 hectares in Anambra State? Because that's like a village. Where does such land exist? We acquired this property from different people. We bought Rogeni property, piece of property, 310 hectares. We bought Bravo property, 610 hectares. We bought Light Brewelly, and then before we now get the villagers to give us additional portions. So it was an area that was like a forest that never have been cultivated. If I start telling you the things we made developing that property, we didn't just make big ponton there. We made different kind of animals there, whether it is alligators and all of those things, because it was a thick forest. Clearing it cost us 1 billion naira. That was in 2012. 2015.
Wow.
But what had happened was that when we wanted to go and develop this property, the villagers looked at us. We became their captive market, like a container they clear. Anytime we come, they want to collect money. So it becomes challenging. But when Obiano became the governor of Anambra State and called for stakeholders forum, I sat in one of the meetings where he shared his economic plan for Anambra State. And one of his 7 pillars of economic transformation was agriculture.
Right.
It was very interesting. So I listened to it. And at the end of the meeting, I asked him, can we have a private sector, meeting, which he consented to. I said, look, I have this piece of property that actually located in your village, but unfortunately, each time we want to develop that piece of property, it was like we are a container that have landed, and this is becoming very irritating. He said, when are you ready to start? I said, tomorrow. He called his commissioner of agriculture, set up a committee, and said, please go talk to my people and tell them that they will be the people that is stopping him, because all he's looking for is to attract an investment in Anambra State. So that's where government is important, because they are catalysts to provide the enabling environment.
That's right.
So they had to do the community meeting and get the people to say, please, hands off. So we moved into the land, started the land clearing in 2015, because rice is a grain that grows on a mud. And for such large kind of property, for us to really do anything meaningful, we have to clear every wood, every stick. It has to be a bare field completely, because the window of the planting is very short. We actually have 4 excavators to be able to do this within 3 months to be able to replant. But we started the first time on rainy season farming, which is not, you are not in control. You are only subjected to the mother nature, whatever it provides to you. Whether what we did, part of that 2015, 2016. But by 2017, we made huge investment to take water from Iju River to about over 9 kilometers from the place to do major canal to bring water, and then started doing the secondary canals that had to put water into each of the farm. Like I said, rice is a grain that grows on a mud.
Right.
So it needs water. Water is part of its life. So you do a much more controlled farming in a dry season, because you give the farm water when you need it, and be able to put all the inputs that will help it become successful. Rice also is a wheat that matured in 120 days. Every 4 months you can harvest. So if we plan very well, we can master three cycle, which other people in other countries are doing. But currently we are doing dry season that usually start from December, and we harvest in April, and plant again. And because we have had flood,
right, yes,
3 consecutive years that really wipe off the entire farm when the Cameroonians release their dam. It go all the way from Benue State and come back to Anambra State. And if the flood exceeded to go beyond the tail of the seed, everything would die unless it received within 7 days. So what we have done now is to make sure we harvest lettuce by September.
Right.
Before you are getting into the late part of August, September, we are out on the field, because we have find a time that you have to only use canoe to go through the farm. The building we have in the farm, we have had when the water come to the top of the roof, to tell you how bad it is in those areas. So what we have done to touch the community in Anak, where we are, is that the first 1 year we were solely on our own. By the second year, we started looking for art growers, where we teach the community what to do, give them some input, help them to farm. We built the first 2 years 5,000 art grower.
Wow.
Yes. There's a company called IDH, American has it. They all support us with these farmers to be able to support them with input, sometimes fertilizer. So what we do now is to train these people. We've been able to grow about 15,000 art growers today. And because of the training, we give them the input we made. Sometimes we can also harvest for them with our harvester. Sometimes we can mow for them with our mowing and all of that. So we now have an accord with them where we have the first right of refusal of buying their crops.
Okay.
Before, we have to go all the way from north, bringing Kebi and all of those areas to be able to get our raw material, which is basically what you call paddy. Okay, right. But today we've been able to create a capacity that we are getting our raw materials in Anambra State, and that's how we have affected the life of the communities where we are working in a very productive way. Today, the farm get better yield and get better takeoff. The off-takers are we. They are not waiting for some other person unless where they can get a better offer. But if you look at rice and the way it works in this value chain, transportation is part of the cost in logistics system. But between where they are to where we are is not more than 2-3-5 kilometers. So they leave themselves and go to our mill. We have a storage of over 25,000 metric tons where we store the paddies to be able to produce seamlessly around the year. So I won't say truly that we have made profit in this business. And I knew from day one that we are not going to make profit. The feasibility study we made was that we will take us 5 years. Our idea is that we will break even by 2021.
Right.
And because we did things proper, the way it should be done, we attracted international investor. Sahel Capital invested into our farm. But their system is that every 5 years they divest, they have to, move on. That's their business model. They don't get there to stay. But all the agreements are put in place. So they put their first 5 years, and when they were willing to sell, we bought them over. And today it's managed and held solely by Coscharis. But we are still willing to accept any other international investor. We have not yet mastered build the maximum capacity in terms of the yield, because rice profitability in it, agriculture today has become scientific completely.
Right.
Like I said, we have had 3 consecutive years where we had flood that totally destroy our crops. And unfortunately, the Nigerian agriculture insurance is not matured. They only want to pay you for the what we call the seed, the planting seed. But all the inputs, the fertilizers, the diesel, we burn 33,000 diesel on a weekly basis. You need to be in this farm, because the 2 ministers of agriculture have been in our farm. The first was Audi Ogbe, was there with the former governor of Central Bank, the Kebbi State governor who represent the president. We had the second governor. This farm, the total road network we created in the farm is about 200 kilometers. 3 hours you are in our farm, you haven't end from beginning to the end of it. So it's a masterpiece. Actually, the best way to look at our farm is to come by helicopter. When late Herbert Nwigwe visited, I think we rented the helicopter of your agency, and he came by air. He couldn't believe himself, because that's the only way you can be able to tour the farm under 1 hour or 30 minutes from the up to see everything. Really professional the way it's done abroad. I am very proud that as an Ambararian, because I'm a capitalist, and as a capitalist, you need to, go for business opportunity where it presents itself.
Yes.
But a lot of people say you must do something in Anambra State, but you can't do, as a capitalist, you cannot make investment based on emotional attachment. Today, I am confident that we are taking the Eastern market, a captive market, to deliver rice. We have the best quality rice that exists in the market today, and we sell at a premium.
Fantastic, sir. So, Dr. Cosmas, what I love about what you just said about your rice story is the fact that you have created jobs and changed lives. 15,000 people is amazing. And it creates a sustainable community.
That's right.
The fact that they can now grow their own crops, and then you get the first pick of buying from them. So you've created a sense of livelihood for them. So that is absolutely amazing.
Absolutely.
Great. So we'll take a quick break right now, and we'll continue with this wonderful conversation with Dr. Cosmas when we come back.
Champions of change. Paying it forward. Join us and be part of the movement.
Do you feel terrified when speaking before a group? Are you stressed when asked to present? Do you forget your points? Are you shy and need confidence? How do you give a speech with polish? Learn how at the School of Eloquence,
the home of public speaking. Attend our 2-day practical training in public speaking. Call 0802-303-2066 or log on to schoolofeloquence.org.
School of Eloquence, teaching the world to speak.
Champions of change. Paying it forward. Join us and be part of the movement.
Welcome back to Champions of Change. I'm right here with Dr. Cosmas, and we've been having a wonderful conversation about his CSR, his farm, and just his incredible wisdom. So, Dr. Cosmas, tell me, I know that you are a phenomenal mentor.
Thank you.
And you are also a man who empowers people.
Absolutely.
And I know you have empowered so many young entrepreneurs.
Sure.
Namely Stanley Uzochukwu of Stanel Oil and Delbra. So tell me, what do you look for in somebody you want to empower or mentor, and why is mentoring quite important?
Well, I am a great advocate of mentorship. You can call it mentorship, you can call it apprenticeship. I am a product of apprenticeship, and that's where you learn under somebody and be tutored on all the rudiments that you require to run a business. University is a very good place to do that, but the only unfortunate thing is that there's no hands-on. You have theoretical knowledge about things and become a great intellectual on it, but hands-on experience you lack. But under apprenticeship or mentorship, somebody guides you step by step for you to learn what to do. Having lost my father at the age of 4, and my mother became a single parent with 4 kids to take care of, life was not fair to me. But I have a determination. And what is that determination? It's hunger for success. I tell a lot of young people today, it doesn't matter what it is. Nobody can teach you how to be hungry. It's something that has to come instinctively. You need to, crave for it. Recently, I was mentoring some group of young people, and I was trying to encourage them to stop procrastinating, to take action and take a step of faith. And one of them raised his hand and said he wanted to ask a question. I said, what is it? He said, look, his belief is that they have been over-mentored but have been underfunded.
Right.
So I tell him to shut up. Because if he claimed to be an entrepreneur, your first ability or sign of entrepreneurship is to create capital. Capital doesn't fall from heaven. You can take a job, whatever you need to do to earn money, and we watch you to see how you have deployed the little money you have in a sustainable manner. There's nothing that convinces an investor more to put money into what you are doing than for you to let him know you took this thing from ground zero to A, from A to B. He could see through that process. You don't need to speak too much because manifestation is the interpretation. He has seen you have the drive, what it takes. Then the help will ordinarily come.
That's right.
A lot of young people or business people have misplaced positions in life. And everybody tell you, look, what my lacking is capital. If I have 1 billion naira, if I have $10 million, you will see me, I will be. No, it doesn't work like that. Many people don't know that this thing we call money have 5 levels of money. The least level of money is what people focus about, and that's what you call cash.
Right.
The first level of money is what we call credibility. The second level of money is what we call credible relationship. You may not have money, but you have somebody that have money. The third level of money is what we call integrity. The fourth level of money is what we call character. The fifth level of money is what we call competency. The other one is the least level of money is what we call cash. But young people are only interested in cash. Let me explain to you. Credibility is not integrity. Credibility is where you are able to record a process of what you are doing. The things you are said, the things you are doing can be verified. There are evidence and proof of what you have done. It can be verified, not just what you said. There are records of that. Now, if Dangote comes to Kosharis to take a Rolls Royce that costs 1.4 billion naira and he didn't have cash, do you think we can let him go with the car? We will. No doubt we will. Why? He's credible.
Right.
We can verify him and his source of wealth. He had a credible position that you can, that what money.
Right.
Now, if Pamela come to Kosharis to take a Ford Explorer and she doesn't have cash, will we give her?
No.
The answer is no. Now, if Pamela knew Dangote and Dangote put a call across Kosharis and say, please let her go with the car, we will let you go with the car. Yes. The obvious answer is yes. Now, it's not the cash you brought, but you leverage on the healthy relationship you had with Dangote. So he value his credibility that become cash. So many people don't know this, that when a wealthy man or a rich person give you cash, he has cheated you. What you need is relationship.
That's right.
That you need is relationship, that he can put a call and open door. So let's come back to the question you asked me, what I do, how I help young people. It's the same means. Like I said, I've said it in open air everywhere. I used to go to see Goodluck Jonathan, and I saw this young boy hanging around, and I became very weird of him, like, treat him like, keep him on arm's length. It's like, I don't want him to contaminate me, because there are too many clever young people. We don't give them benefit of that. But each time this young man will greet me presently, there's something bubbling in him that is looking for life. But I was very careful, not to, fall for his whatever it is. And over a period of time, I keep on, taking back seat. But one day, I was coming down from Hilton Hotel in Abuja by the elevator, this young man grabbed my 2 feet. I said, what is it? He said, look, he regarded me as an angel, that I'm a messenger from God. I should lay hands on him to pray. I said, why? Here. Let's get to the corner. He said, please here. Please here. He had my 2 legs. Please here. A boy that was well taught, that believed in what he has been taught. I laid hands on Stanley and I was praying. Suddenly I felt a hand inside my purse. I heard it like this. I thought he was trying to be funny.
From you.
He stuck 50,000 naira on my pocket. I finished with him, entered car, going back to the airport. I keep on wondering, what a hell is this? Why did this boy put, in fact, you know, I acted superstitious. I removed the 50,000 so that it does not contaminate all the money I have and kept it away. Because a young boy that was supposed to ask me for money is giving me money.
Right.
It was different from everything that I knew. But I keep on pondering about it. It wasn't long. Friendship was born. People don't know principle, how life operates. A gift is a distraction to a king. People gave me Rolex watch, things like I never opened their pocket for 2 years because I'm busy. It's a distraction. So that gift that young man did connected me with him, and we became friends. As a matter of fact, I still remember I was in a Jaguar SJ driving, coming into Abuja, and my phone rang, and it was Stanley, because he already have access to me, that he can call me and I take his call. Oh, sir, please, do I know anybody in First Bank? I said, what is it? Oh, that he used to deliver diesel to Julius Berger. There was a guy that used to phone him. That guy had a motor accident and died, and he's dead. Now, Julius Berger has given him a contract to supply XYZ metric ton of the diesel. He didn't have the money. If I could put a word for him, somebody in First Bank where he had an account. I said, so do you have an account in First Bank? He said, yes. I said, please, can you send me the account? It's not something I planned. It was not in my plan. It was not something I was thinking. But the Holy Spirit told me to wire some money into his account. And I sent a message to my accounting officer in Access Bank to send 150 million naira to that account.
Wow.
And that exchange rate as of then was 150 naira per dollar. That's $1 million. He told me when he received the money, the alert, the phone fell off in his hand. And he ran to his pastor's, Paul Elenchi, to say this is what happened. And the pastor told him he hadn't seen anything. So that was my connection with Stanley. Of course, the agreement was for him to return the money under 6 months. He didn't return it until about 1.5 years or 2. But he returned the money. We didn't call police. We didn't go to court. We didn't discuss anything about it. And the friendship was born. Today, I took pride that Stanley is a billionaire. He's not the first billionaire that I have raised, frankly speaking. You can count in my finger, there are more than 30 young men that are billionaires. That, in fact, some of them are even becoming bigger than myself, that I knew the role I played in their life.
Wow.
I've done that all my life. You know, we are called for different life. It's about not duration, how long you live, but are you living a purposeful life? It's about donation. How empathful have you been into people's life? And I can tell you that by the grace of God, I pride myself in this. Some people tell me you trust people too much. It's not about trusting people too much. There's a responsible urge in every one of us. If there's a deep in you calling after a deep, there's a deep somewhere to respond to it. If you are determined to succeed and you follow principle and do everything that you need to do to succeed, God will send you a destiny helper along the way.
That's right.
Quite a number of people sit back and say things went wrong. Like I could have sat back and blame everybody around me, including God. Why did he took my father when I was 4 years? But wealth is not about, success is not about education, frankly speaking. Success is not about any other thing but about mindset. Changing the narrative of the way you think is the key to success. My mother looked at me at the age of 4, looked me straight into the eye and said, Cosmas, believe in yourself and believe in God. You will go places in life and you will be successful. I said, thank you, Mom. I grew up with optimism. I believe no door closes before me. My mother was actually my inspirator who really discovered my entrepreneurship, because she would fly Akala in the morning and give me to sell 1 pan and 1 for my senior brother. I would sell 2 pan before my senior brother sell 1. Why? Because I move with confidence, smiling at you before I say buy Akala. And you said, no, you don't want to buy. If you want to go, I'll hurl your cloth. And you said, is it by force? I said, Mom, tell me nobody says no to me. Exactly what you are doing now is what they would do. Right. The person will, just smile, giggle, and said, wow, where did this boy confidence come from? Who taught you this? Then he will abuse his own child. Say, if this one is by me, he will not have sense. Or yeah, put 5 pence on. That's how I sell. Right. So we went to the same market, the same akara with my senior brother. I sell 2 pounds before he finished selling 1. So I grew up with that optimism that people like me, people will do things to me. So when people tell me this thing is impossible, I'll be laughing. I'll go, you tell me this door is closed, I tell you it will open when I get there. 99.9% as I'm getting to this door, somebody will open it from the other side and I will close. So that has been my life.
Amazing,
amazing.
Thank you so much for the nuggets that you just shared. So, Dr. Cosmas, it must be so rewarding, knowing that you've helped so many people. I mean, I can't imagine making people billionaires.
Sure.
What is the most rewarding experience, in your opinion, that you've had of helping people?
I think I would like to share 2 of them. Okay. Recently was a young man I met outside of this country. Let me keep his privacy. It was on December 24.
Your birthday.
My birthday. He got to know it was my birthday. He bought a bag that is a Gucci bag that he used. He removed things on it and said he's sorry he didn't know it was my birthday and gave it to me.
Wow.
Unfortunately, he forgot his international passport on it.
Oh my God.
Inside it, but which I later discovered, and I was able to give it to him before I left that country. On my honor, friendship was born. After that event, the young man called me one day and told me he had a challenge. I said, what is the challenge? And he just got a contract of $120 million and he need to do something to show commitment to be able to secure that contract. And we had a discussion. I said, put it on email. And the discussion went on. On my honor, I wired $2.5 million to him. He got that contract, show performance. After 6 months, he got the first performance payment of $5 million. Right. And he returned my $2.5 million. He had finished that job. The person that got the second job did not perform. He's doing a contract, a project of $1 billion United States dollar today.
Wow.
From that help. So how do you sit back and hear things like this, the kind of fulfillment you have on it? The second one is a young man from my own state. I started giving credit of 10 million naira to 50 to 100 million. Today, he's so big, he built a factory. he also produced for Kosciaris certain product that we buy from him now. And recently he told me he has 44 billion naira. He's looking for what to do. He has built a factory in Sokoto, built a factory in Lagos. I told him the next one will be in Anambra.
Wow.
And when Soludo called for Anambra Economics Summit, I told him I came with an investor, signed his certificate of occupancy. The factory is under construction now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed this session, Dr. Cosmas. Lastly, what I want to ask you, I know one of the things I really admire about you is you are one of the most humble people I've actually ever met.
Thank you.
I want to ask though, what keeps you humble and what are you most grateful for?
It's important everybody that cares to know. I'm a Christian. I don't feel embarrassed to say it. I'm traveling on tomorrow. I'm heading to Pakistan. I'm going to wear this badge. If you don't like me, send me back to my country, anywhere I am, whether I'm in Saudi Arabia or in Dubai. I met Christ at a very tender age of my life before I turned 15, and that gave me a different view of life, that God of all creature humble himself and enter into the womb of his own creation. That's humility. God humiliated himself. The way up is down. What people wonder about me is that they thought I'm a rich man who became a Christian. No, I am a Christian who became rich.
Right.
Somebody God could trust with money. So my Christian value comes first in everything I do. And that's where my humble disposition comes from. I don't tolerate people, like you are up there and they are all down there, live haughty like you know everything, other people don't know anything. It is absolutely the grace of God in my life that I enjoy, and that's why I try to express it, so that if I can't preach to you, you can look at my life and maybe have cause to say, God, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cosmas. It's been amazing to have you on the show.
It's my pleasure, Pamela, to be here, and please feel free to call me any other time. If I'm available, it will be my pleasure to put my shoulder to the wheel and anchor your show.
Thank you so much.
God bless you. You're welcome.
I'd like to thank Dr. Cosmas for joining me on this episode of Champions of Change. His incredible journey reminds us all that success is born from vision, discipline, and a willingness to persevere against all odds. I am Pamela Igbo, and we'll see you on Achievement Channel. Until then, stay inspired, keep making a difference. Bye for now.
So please keep watching Achievement Channel to keep learning. Thank you.
I just want to advise you, it is best for you to keep watching the Achievement Channel.
Okay, shout out to the Achievement Channel. Keep watching the Achievement Channel.
Welcome to Mighty Moms, the show that celebrates incredible women balancing the wall of motherhood and success. This is Achievement Channel, and we are reaching you live from our studio at the School of Eloquence here in Lagos. Today's topic is focused on moms who build empires, entrepreneurship, and motherhood. And we are so excited to have with us someone who exemplifies this beautifully, Pamela Igbo, a beautiful leader, and mother who has not only made her mark in business development, but also as the former executive director of Obi Jackson Foundation. Pamela, we are happy to have you on the show today.
It's great to be here, Sarah. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Pamela, you've had such a rich and diverse career in business development and leadership. Can you walk us through the journey, especially as a mother raising a daughter and at the same time navigating the world of entrepreneurship?
Thank you, Sarah. I think for me, you know the saying that goes, necessity is the mother of invention. So that was typical for my case. I never really thought about being an entrepreneur. I was just going to do the 9-to-5 pathway journey in terms of my career. But I found myself a single mother going through a divorce when my daughter was pretty young at 18 months. And so I had to sort of decide at that moment that I wanted to be there for my daughter, and I did not want to miss any part of her growing up, especially now that I was no longer part of a nuclear family and I was going it alone. So that started my journey of entrepreneurship, deciding to not do a 9-to-5 job and look for ways of earning an income and still being very, very present in my daughter's life.
That's great. You were once the executive director of Obi Jackson Foundation, which tackles critical issues like health and education, particularly in the rural areas. How did your role influence your perspective on leadership and social impact, especially as a mother and an entrepreneur?
Great question. Like you said, the Obi Jackson Foundation, a great foundation. I used to be the executive director. We worked particularly with rural women in the eastern part of Nigeria, particularly Anambra State. I think as a mother, you're always a mother in whatever circumstance you find yourself, and meeting women who they were obviously entrepreneurs in their own way, doing it at a very low level. It was good to be able to find ways of supporting them and creating avenues where they could have inclusion, financial inclusion through microcredit, or just supporting them and giving them information on how they can make their lives better. So in that way, it was a very fulfilling and rewarding time there.
That's great. Pamela, you created Hannah and Hugh. You started Hannah and Hugh Limited when your daughter was just 18 months. What were the toughest challenges you had to face at that time? And how did you overcome them as a mother?
Okay, so first of all, I want to say Hannah and Hugh is a natural skincare company. So the story behind that is when my daughter was a baby, she had eczema. And we're talking, she's 18 years old now, so we're talking 18 years ago, there wasn't much about natural skincare. Particularly when I lived in England, you would go to the doctor and they would give you steroid creams. And so being very frustrated, I decided to go and take a skincare course. And that's how Hannah and Hugh was born. And so I took my recipes to a manufacturer and decided to create a range for children, particularly children born with eczema and parents who were looking for an alternative to the steroid creams that were in the market at the time. And so obviously, being a single mother, it wasn't easy. I think living in Nigeria gives you a certain support network that you don't have when you're living abroad necessarily. So trying to juggle not having much of a support network and trying to start my company, my skincare products, that was the biggest challenge. I think not having as much support as I do now that I'm back living in Nigeria, but also trying to be focused and make sure that this was going to work. So that was, I would say, the biggest challenge that I faced at the time.
How has the business been so far?
Yeah, it was very successful in England. I was able to sell it, take it to market, and it was stocked at different natural skincare stores. and I was also selling it at Health Plus here in Nigeria. It took a bit of a break during COVID, but we're getting ready to relaunch it in January again.
Wonderful. This inspiring conversation comes up immediately after our break. Please stay tuned. Motherhood is a transformative journey that shapes our children and us. It's filled with joy, challenges, and profound growth. Today, we honor the unsung heroes, our mothers, whose love and dedication lay the foundation for our achievements. Motherhood teaches resilience, the strength to wake up each day with purpose, despite sleepless nights. This resilience empowers us to overcome obstacles and reach our goals. It fosters creativity and problem solving. From soothing a crying baby to managing a household, mothers develop invaluable skills that drive success in ever-changing environments. Today, we celebrate every mother who has doubted herself yet continue to push forward. Your love, sacrifices, and commitment are the true markers of success. You are the heartbeat of your family, and your influence reaches far beyond your home. Today, to all the mothers watching, remember this: your journey, filled with love and perseverance, is the foundation of all-round achievements. You are raising the next generation of dreamers, leaders, and innovators. Your role is powerful. Welcome back to Mighty Moms on Achievement Channel. Pamela, when you reflect on your journey so far, both as a mother and a career personnel or entrepreneur, what do you think are the most rewarding aspects of both?
That's a great question. So I think for me, it's, being able to be an entrepreneur, but also be there for my daughter. I think the time that it gave me to do things at my own pace, and also be able to be there for very important parts of her life, knowing that I was doing it on my own, was really, really important to me. So being able to be there for her netball competitions, taking her to her school plays, parenting meetings, or even just lots of play dates that I took her to. I wouldn't have had time if I had a structured job. So I think that was very rewarding for me, knowing that I was able to see her grow up and I didn't miss any parts of it. In fact, I was thinking a couple of months ago, she went over for summer to England, and that was the first time in 17 years that we had been apart for longer than like a week. And she was away for 2 months. So that for me has been the very rewarding part of it, knowing that I was there for her, every important part of her life.
That's great. Most of our viewers are mothers having dreams of beginning or starting their own businesses, but really do not know how or what to do. What would your advice be for mothers who want to begin a business, even with little or limited resources?
Yeah, so my advice would be just start. If you have a goal or a dream, no matter how small you think it is, just start. The Bible reminds us, do not despise the day of small beginnings. Yeah. And I think that as women, sometimes we can look at other women and think, oh, wow, they are at the top of their game, not remembering that they started from somewhere. So we always see the finished product, but we don't see the struggles behind the scenes. We don't see the days they wanted to give up. So I would say, first and foremost, start. Secondly, I would say surround yourself with like-minded people who are trying to do what you're doing, not necessarily in the same line of business, but trying to be entrepreneurs themselves. Get a network of women who can support you. I think that is really, really important. The third thing is there's so many resources these days in Nigeria for small businesses. So I can think of SMEDEM, which is the Small, Medium and Enterprise Development Agency. They're there to support women in business. There is Enterprise Development Service at the LBS. There's WIMBIZ. There's Gaia Club. There are so many different groups that you can join today that can give you that support that you need. You don't need a lot of money to start a business, particularly in this digital age. You can start with very little resources and just start somewhere. That's what I would say.
Thank you so much. It's been so refreshing listening to your story, Pamela. I wish we could go on, but this is where we wrap up the interview section. Viewers, we'll be right back. We are going to take a short break, and when we are back, we will listen to Pamela's final thoughts on Moments on Connection.
My name is Dr. Mrs. Wumi Olatunji. I'm an environmental and safety professional. I had a very wonderful experience right from day one to the very end. There's the second day to even up to this moment. It has really improved my public speaking. It has built confidence in me. It has improved my ability to speak even in public without much accessory, if at all I need to use anything, just maybe a paper. Before I'm so much endowed with use of PowerPoint, I must have a computer in front of me, or I must have a paper and read directly from the paper. But now I can boldly present or discuss with people in public with or without accessory. I so much appreciate this, and I know it will go a long way with me, and it will improve my performance in my profession. I want you all there to come over and pass through this school. Don't need to procrastinate. You have a lot to benefit and none to lose. Speak with power.
School of Eloquence, teaching the world to speak.
Welcome back. Now it's time for Moment of Connection, where we hear from our viewers. We've had a lot of responses from moms who have shared their experiences of balancing motherhood and entrepreneurship. Let's read a few comments. From Jane Akintola on X. Starting my own business while raising my kids was one of the toughest things I have ever done. But the freedom it gave me to be present for them was worth it. The second comment is from Bola Danjuma on X. I'm still in the planning stages of starting my bakery business, but I get overwhelmed sometimes and I question if it's even worth it. How do I stay focused and motivated through all the challenges? Pamela, what are your thoughts?
Great. I mean, like I had said earlier, it's a rewarding adventure to be able to have your own business and be there for your children, your family, and balancing that. So I really can relate to the first comment there. The second one about starting home business and staying focused, I would say, like I had already said, get a network of women who can support you. Get an accountability partner that will keep you focused. I think that's really important. I think for me, I have a bunch of accountability partners, and so they help me stay focused with my life and business.
Pamela, thank you so much for sharing your inspiring story with us today. Moms like you remind us that it is possible to build your business and also raise a family, and at the same time, take care of yourself.
It's been inspiring to be here. Thank you.
That brings me to my final question before we wrap up. What do you do for yourself, for your me time?
That's a great question. Thank you. So I think as women, we tend to take care of everybody else but ourselves. And I've found that we need to be really, really intentional in building that me time into our schedules, no matter how small it is, whether it's an hour or 4 hours. For me personally, I like to go once a month, go and have a massage, go out with friends, or just go to my favorite coffee shop and chill. So for me, that works for me. So it could be different things for different people. But what I would say is for every mother out there who's trying to balance business and family, to try to intentionally build that time into their schedules.
That's great. So you take care of your business.
Absolutely.
Take care of your family.
Mm-hmm.
And also create time for yourself.
Very important.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Imagine stepping into a world where every breath refreshes your spirit. Our premium diffusers transform any space into a sanctuary using only natural, non-toxic ingredients. With quality absorbent reeds, they deliver long-lasting, soothing scents that eliminate unpleasant odors, promote relaxation, reduce stress, and enhance your mood. Choose from tropical mango to a refreshing mountain breeze. Elevate your environment and discover a non-toxic way to improve the air you breathe. With Christian Creations, your home becomes a personal escape to paradise. Experience the freshness today.
And to our viewers, I hope today's episode has encouraged you to pursue your entrepreneurial dreams, no matter the challenges. I'm Sarah Roberts. Don't forget to join us for our next episode, where we'll continue to celebrate the incredible strength of Mighty Moms. Until then, stay strong, stay inspired, and keep being the mighty mom that you are.
Hello and welcome to Achievers Book Club on the Achievement Channel, Nigeria's first and only 100% motivational TV station, broadcasting from the School of Eloquence studio here in Ikoyi, Lagos. I am your host, Sarah Erime Esekwe. Great minds are built by great books, and this is the show that brings the most powerful ideas from best-selling titles to life, helping you turn knowledge into action. Today, we are diving into a vital conversation, the art of the lifestyle shift, transforming your mind, body, and business. We are exploring how determination and self-belief can help anyone rise above their obstacles. Joining me to discuss the roadmap to a total life transformation is a powerhouse guest. She is an award-winning photographer, entrepreneur, and author of the life-changing book, Lika's Lifestyle Shift. Please welcome the creative director of Click Art Photography, Lika Ahunsi. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome to the show, Lika Ahunsi.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I trust you're doing great.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so we're just going to dive right into the questions now. So the first question I have for you is now the 4Fs framework. In your book, you introduced a unique framework for change called the 4Fs, right? Yeah. Which is fitness, food, fashion, and facials. Most health books only focus on the first two. So why was it important for you to include the outward elements like fashion and facials as part of a deep internal lifestyle shift?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Funny enough, I've never been asked, but it's so let me give a bit of background, how the book came into existence. Okay, so it was during COVID. We all stuck at home. The need to work out kind of became a thing because people were getting bigger, just staying at home, not feeling like they're doing any activities. So before then, I used to just post my workouts and stuff like that. And I don't know, I would say more people were engaged, pretty much because we were now stuck at home. So I think that increased the engagement on my page. So one day I decided to do a live, and it was just a ask me any question. And based on that live, in fact, then, I don't know if it's still the case because I don't really do lives anymore, but after an hour, it cuts off. So after 1 hour, I had to start all over again because people were like, I still have questions, you've not answered my questions. So it was so engaging, it was amazing. So majorly the questions, because I was taking notes on the questions I was asked and answering as much as I could during the live. But I realized that most questions revolved around these 4 Fs. So people asked me questions about my diet, what I was doing what I did to lose the weight, and what I have done or had done at the time to keep it. There was also a lot of questions regarding what kind of workout do I do, what are my schedules, and how is it possible to do this workout or still be active with my lifestyle shift, even with my everyday life, right? So that already answered the 2 major ones, which is fitness and food. Then I got a lot of questions about my outward look. So if you check the book out, I'm going to be referring a lot to the book.
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah. So in page 16, in page 16, there's this picture. There's this picture here, and you could see how dark I was there and how my skin tone had changed. So a lot of people just going through my page, watching my videos, were like, your skin has started glowing. Like, what did you do? What are your secrets? What facials do you do? Because you don't seem to have a lot of breakouts. You know, when I tell people that I'm over 40, it's very difficult to believe because they're like, you don't have wrinkles, this, that. So as much as I would say a lot has to do with, we like to call it my parents and my background. But I also do a lot with facial care and skin care to also be able to give tips on that. So I decided that I didn't want the book to just be your regular fitness book. I just also wanted to make people see a bit about my journey and my story, and that's why I even called the book my name, Lika's Lifestyle Shift. Like the raw data on everything I have done and all the changes I have made to be where I am today, which also included fashion changes, knowing what fitted my body type and stuff like that. So advising people also on fashion tips, colors that fit you. Some people just wear things randomly and they don't even really appreciate why they use the color tones that they use. So just giving a bit of information on fashion, what fits the different body types that we have, and colors as well, what colors that complement your skin tone. So so that's why fashion and facial became really important to put that in the book.
That's amazing, because it's not enough to just lose the weight. Yeah, it's important that your body all round.
Yes.
What you wear, how you appear, your skin. That's amazing. That's good. And
Everything
honestly,
is
you do
intertwined.
not look like you are 40. Above 40, rather.
Above 40. Let's put that caveat there.
That's amazing.
Above 40. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, that leads us to the next question. You've described this book as a raw and inspiring journey. Yeah, you just talked about that. It's your personal lifestyle. Right? You open up about very personal topics like family, grief, mental health. Was there a specific chapter or memory that was particularly difficult for you to write down? And why did you feel it was necessary to share it with your readers?
Okay, so it's still even quite difficult to talk about. I lost my dad last year.
So
and thank you. And that's what led to me doing a revised version of the book. Because I wrote the book during COVID, which was roughly 5 years ago. And when he died, I decided to do this revised version because I wanted to add a bit more information on managing grief. Because I realized that a lot of people are so insensitive to, insensitive to understanding what grief is and how people manage it differently. So talking about losing him was also kind of like my love letter to him, right? How much he meant to me, how much he helped me in my own journey. My dad was my biggest cheerleader. He was the one that would see one fitness tip and send it to me. He was always sending me forwarded messages of different things to do, different health decisions, nutrition, and so a whole lot. He was an inspiration for fitness. I have never known any time that my dad wasn't working out or just constantly taking care of his weight. So it was really sad for me the way he died, because he just slumped, right? He wasn't sick or anything like that. And what even makes it a bit more challenging is that he slumped doing what he loved the most. He was playing golf. And I talk about that in my book. If you go through, so I call that managing mental health. Okay. So managing mental health, that's from page 29. And so basically a lot of the talk around this chapter is about my dad, about his journey, about how much he made me love fitness, how much he was into fitness, not just even only fitness, but nutrition. He was very particular about what he ate. So for him to die the way he did, it was really difficult for me. It took me over 3 months for me to get over it. Like, for me, no, of course I'm still not over it, but for me to go back to the gym. Because for a long time I was just like, hey, this man did it all and he just slumped and died. No explanation, nothing. So why am I stressing myself? Why am I doing this fit life, right? So there were a lot of questions I had to ask myself, and also,
is it worth it?
Yeah,
should I go
yeah.
back to
Should
this?
I do this? What's the point? I could just slump and die. So what am I telling people to do better? You know. So writing that particular chapter was very difficult because I asked those questions even in the book, like, what do you people think? Like, how do you get over that? And yeah, I would say I'm still not over his loss. I don't know if I'll ever be. But in the book also, I speak to people who are experiencing similar loss and how they can manage it. I realized that when finally I was able to go back into my routine, I gained a lot from it. I could use that as a way to just release that my energy, tension and sadness and stress. Right, especially with taking walks. I never really liked taking walks. I thought it was a very slow pace workout. But I realized that in this time, that's what I needed. I just needed something really easy. So I would just take those walks and listen to like motivational speakers and just try to put myself in a headspace that it's life, this is what it is, right? And just try to accept not having him with me anymore. Yeah.
Wow. I'm really sorry about the loss of your dad.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, it's important that we understand how to grieve, because most times when we have such a sudden loss, most people tend to express their grief in different ways.
Yeah.
That most times they don't even come out of it. Like for instance, what you explained about how you started asking questions: is it worth it? Should I go back to? There are most people that at that point, that's the end.
Yeah.
They now begin to
can never,
eat, they overeat unhealthy meals, and they become fat again, and they just lose everything, right? That's amazing. Okay, so that also leads us to the next question. The subtitle of your book is Discover the Pathway to a Lifestyle That Changes Everything for You. In the early chapters, you talked about teenage struggles with weight and confidence. What's the biggest lie you believed about yourself back then that the process of writing this book finally helped you debunk?
Okay. Okay, so I would never really say that I was not a confident person.
Okay.
But I always kind of struggled with weight. Like my weight gain. I was never, if you read the book, I was never a skinny child. I was always chubby. And I have a sister, like my immediate elder sister, who was always skinny. In fact, we were like opposites, so she was always skinny. I was always the one that was bigger. And so you refer to us and you can easily refer to me as, the chubby one, right? So will I say it bothered me as a child? No. But as I got older, it became a thing, right? Guys, started liking boys from the age of 15, 16. And you're like, okay, how do I look? Yeah. So I think it was at that point, and just before I was going into university, that it became a bit important for me, or I became conscious of the way I looked, and it mattered to me how I looked. So yeah, I talk about that in the book, and how I started starving myself because I wanted to lose weight. Right? And so, not to give a very long answer, but I would say that I kept doing different things at different points, trying to lose weight. So I would lose the weight, gain it back again, lose the weight, gain it again, because I think that in my head, there was this part of me that felt you're supposed to be fat or you're supposed to be big. Your body is not structured to be a certain way. I also have lines around my neck. And when I put on weight, it's like the first part that just becomes really chubby, my cheeks. So my facial change is the first thing you notice when I lose weight. So sometimes I even look bigger than I am on the scale or generally, but just because my face would always have that big look. So because of that consciousness, I would say, it made me always feel that. So I think what I would say I was afraid of is putting the weight back on.
Okay.
So it took me 5 years from when I lost the weight. I lost weight primarily around the last quarter of 2015.
Oh.
Yeah, so let's say it took me 6 months to really be comfortable with my weight. And let's say in a year, so in 2016, that's when I felt I was where I wanted to be, weight-wise. I was toned out. I had done the work. But in 2015, I'd already lost a significant amount of weight.
Okay.
So I think my fear really was, okay, what do I need to do to remain like this? So even when I initially would post things, I was still very scared to post because I always felt, what if I gain it back? So I think my fear was not about just being like indecisive or not sure of myself or a bit timid. I was never that person. I was someone who had like self-care or, you know, appreciated how I looked. But I think my greatest fear was the weight coming back.
That's maintaining what you had lost.
Maintaining. So that's where the lifestyle comes from. So it was until after 5 years that I had stayed without the weight, which was, you know, supposedly now COVID year. That's when I was ready to speak about it, because I felt, okay, now I'm where I want to be. And I have been able to do this 5 years. So it means that it would take a lot to get me back to the Lika that I was before. Of course, it helped my self-confidence. It made me feel much stronger, even if I think I already had self-confidence, but it definitely boosted me to be like, oh, you've done this for 5 years, you can do another 5 years. And now this is the 10th, 11th year really, since I started, because I started in 2015. So it's already 11 years since my journey. And I now even play around with my weight. Sometimes I gain weight purposely because I want to do a particular kind of thing with my body or something like I am so much in control now
of you.
Yes, that I would say that is the thing I've been able to change. You know, I've been able to get to a point. Do I still get scared once in a while? Yes. You know, I just told you about my dad and that fear of me just losing interest and just saying what's the point, and you know, just going back to relaxing, and that fear of losing it all, like just going back to being chubby and big and just, you know, like you wrote a book, like what's wrong with you? Why do you look like this? You know, so those fears, they are there.
Yes.
They would remain there, I guess. But I think I just consistently put in the work because it has become my lifestyle, that I do not really see it happening. But you know, never say never.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the losing weight for you; it was keeping it, right? Consistently.
Yeah, it was
that was where the lifestyle
was the fear.
came about. Yeah. All right, it's been an amazing time with Lika. Let us go on a short break. We will be right back.
Are you in governance?
You need public speaking.
Are you in business?
You need public speaking.
Are you a professional?
You need public speaking.
Now you too can learn how to overcome nervousness and speak with confidence before any audience at the School of Eloquence, the home of public speaking.
Attend our practical and training one-on-one coaching with West Africa's only certified speaking professional at any of our centers in Lagos and Abuja.
To register, call 0802 3032 066 or 0706 1606 078, or log on to our website schoolofeloquence.org. School of Eloquence,
teaching the world to speak.
Welcome back. Okay, Lika, so the next question I have for you is this. You write that this book is more than a guide to weight loss. So for the reader who picks this up and is already physically fit but feels mentally stuck or unfulfilled, what does Lika's lifestyle offer them in terms of mindset and resilience?
Okay, so first off, for someone who is already physically fit, that's one job already done. So kudos, be happy. you're already doing well. As we already said, it's more about a lifestyle shift. So it's not about just losing the weight, but keeping it out. And also the health benefits of not having weight. That's so not just having fats, excessive fats in your body. So for that mental shift, I would say a lot of it comes from confidence as a person. There are some people that even after they have lost the weight, they just still look at themselves and still feel, I'm not good enough. I'm not, I don't feel that I'm good enough. So in my book, I talk a lot about self-care.
Okay.
The last chapter, in fact, I'm going to just read something very quickly. I said, always remember that, so that's page 83, always remember that self-love is not the same as selfishness. After COVID, that's when I decided that I was going to travel more. So every year, I always try to do one personal trip, just me. Because for me, it's a way to just balance all my emotions and just find a way to live in the presence. So that's for me. Travel was the thing for me. For other people, it might be something that they have just put, as I said in my book, on the back burner. Decide what it is that gives you even that anxiousness, because some people suffer from anxiety. So what is it that causes that? And just find a way to say, okay, I want to be better. I don't want this to be an issue anymore. You're already looking good, right? So you've done the work. So what are those other things in my life that brings me down? What are those things that I'm not comfortable with? And you start making that mental change, intentional change, to be like, I want to be better. Mm-hmm. So that would be my advice. I would say that self-care, don't always have excuses. People say, my family, I have little kids. I have a friend who would put her baby on her back, put the other one that is a bit older on a stroller, and she will take her walks, right?
There are no excuses.
No excuses, just make time out of no time. So yeah, so when you're able to have some structure in place and you see it's working, that can start even helping your mental health. So it's that mental health of deciding that you matter, you are enough. And I speak a lot about that in the book. So it's not about just the fitness change, it's about a mental change.
Amazing, amazing. So one of the best parts of the book is that it's packed with practical tips. If a reader could only implement one strategy from your book this week to start seeing a difference in their life, which one would you point out for them?
So I like this question because people even ask me this. So what I will say is the first step, and even for my clients, because I have people that I train from time to time. And the first thing I always tell them to do is the water detox. So if you go to page 64, you will see the water detox is explained a bit in detail, so you know what it has to do or what it means. A water therapy would help you to just cleanse your system. Right? It would help you in a whole lot of ways. And there's like an explanation there of what it entails. So if you could do just one thing, that's what I'll tell you to start off with. Detox.
Okay, so the book is an invitation to stop holding back. When you were sitting down to write the final pages of this book, who was a specific person you had in your mind's eye? Who is the one person that needs to read this book right now to start their own next chapter?
Anybody who is just struggling with weight loss, anybody struggling with mental health, especially when it relates to your outward look. I think those are the two people I would say should read this book. If you are struggling, especially the second person, you're just struggling with being comfortable in your skin. Just being comfortable with who you are. Read this book, because that's my story. My story, it really explains how when I made this decision for a lifestyle shift and kept to it, how it affected every aspect of my life, because there was just this boost of confidence that I could achieve anything. And I think that's the person I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to that person that is struggling with being the best version of themselves. They are just constantly questioning, constantly asking, am I enough? What I have tried to do in this book and what I've tried to consistently say is that you are enough. You are smart enough, you are fine enough, you're good enough, you're everything. You just need to believe it in yourself. And if making that body change would help in you deciding that you're good enough, then please, let's do that together. Read Lika's Lifestyle Shift and make that change and start believing in you today. Thank you.
Yeah. So Lika, how can readers get this book now?
Okay, so the easiest way to get the book is through my Instagram page. If you want a hardback copy, the revised version, because the revised version is quite new, so you can get the revised version if you send me a DM on 2 of my Instagram pages. The first one is dedicated completely for the book. It's LLS, so Lika's Lifestyle Shift. So LLS_Fit Life. That's on Instagram. There you see tips on workouts. You see so many information there. The other one is just at Lika Ahunsi. With those 2 pages, you send me a DM. We can arrange for book sales everywhere, all around the world. Then for soft copy books, we have ebooks on Stella. You would also see the link on the Instagram page. So yeah, with those 2 platforms, I guess you can be able to get the books. The old version of the book is still available on Amazon. We haven't been able to put the revised version there yet, but we're working on that.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Lika.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's an amazing time we've had, and we want to thank you for writing this book because it indeed would help a lot of readers struggling with weight loss and even mental health. So thank you, viewers. One of my take home is self-care is not selfishness, okay? So it is important that we put in the work no matter the things that happens. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. What an incredible, raw and insightful session we've had today. We've learned through Lika's journey that a true lifestyle shift isn't just about the physical. It's a commitment to self-love, resilience, and a total transformation of the mind. A big thank you to Lika Ahunsi for reminding us that we have the power to stop holding back and start creating the life we've always dreamed of. Pick up your copy of Lika's Lifestyle Shift and begin your own 4F journey today. To our viewers, remember that the books you read today shape the achiever you become tomorrow. Don't forget to follow Achievement Channel across Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for more transformational stories and expert insights. Use the hashtag #WeSeePossibilities to join the conversation. I'm Sarah Erime Esekpe, and this is Achievers Book Club. Until next time, keep reading, keep growing, and keep seeing possibilities.
Hey, this is Habiba Balogun, Chair of the 11th Champions of Talent Development Conference by Learning and Development Network. Shout out to who? The Achievement Channel.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tayo Luole, and I want to say a special shout out to the Achievement Talent. You guys are doing great thing, and you are really, really inspiring us with most of the content you are churning out. And I am proud to even say that you are our partner in progress with some of the things you are turning out. Thank you very much.
wear their khaki, but we carry more than just a bag. We carry dreams, grit, and a will to serve.
This is Corpuscan, rising to serve, rising to lead.
Hello and welcome to Corpuscan, the show that inspires and empowers young Nigerians to make most of their NYSC journey and beyond. I'm your host, Madu Dennis Uchechukwu, and you are watching the Achievement Channel, Nigeria's 100% motivational TV station, broadcasting from the School of Eloquence Studios in Ikoyi, Lagos. Today's theme is one that truly captures the energy of our generation, the new Nigerian youth, purposeful, productive, proud. We are flipping the script from lazy youth to leaders in motion, young Nigerians who are building change, shaping narratives, and contributing meaningfully to nation building. I'm joined by two amazing guests. Our first guest is Egwo T. Favor, a fresh graduate and newly called barrister currently serving at the prestigious School of Eloquence, Ikoyi. She is passionate, disciplined, and committed to using her legal knowledge and values to make a positive impact during her service year. Our second guest is Dimba Onyekachi, a creative and passionate social media manager with a flair for crafting compelling digital content and building strong online communities. She represents the new digital-driven Nigerian youth who are shaping conversations and inspiring change through creativity.
This is Corpuscan, rising to serve, rising to lead.
Welcome Kachi, welcome Favor to today's episode of Corpuscan.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
A lot of people do see Nigerians as being lazy youths and not being able to kind of like cultivate or be productive. Kachi, how are young Nigerians proving we are not lazy?
I feel like now there are a lot of youths out there that are into content creation, that are into personal businesses. Like we have people that start up a pastry business, or they start up like fabric business, like into like textile and everything. We have people that are into drop shipping, like people that they are the middleman when it comes to like other like business ventures and all of that. Then for content creation, it's something that's very rampant now. There are a lot of youths out there that are into content creation, because apparently from TikTok, people make money from TikTok, from going live, from even selling their products via TikTok or other social media platforms in general. So apparently youths now are trying their best to put their hands in everything that they can lay their hands on, like business-wise, tech-wise. Some are even like going out of their way to study like online courses that will help them tech-wise. Some are into like IT. A lot of things are actually going on. Some are even in the market. Those that find it difficult to like, go to school, they're actually in the market hustling into businesses. Like some Igbo people now, they are into money. They love business. So some young guys prefer to follow their dad to the market, their mom to the market, and all of that. So personally, I feel like youths now are very, very impressive when it comes to putting their hands into something that will be lucrative, something that will help them, something that will be as like to lay a foundation for their future. So I believe that youths now are actually doing well, unlike before or years ago.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That was a really good point.
Yeah.
Favor, do you agree or do you have another idea or another thought on how Nigerian youths are proving not to be lazy from your own point of view?
Okay, I totally agree with what she said because it's very true. And I relate it to the economy now in Nigeria. The youth these days, nobody is relaxing. Everybody is hustling. There's no laziness anywhere from any corner, whether boys or girls, no laziness anywhere. Every youth is trying to learn one or two skills, both online or physical. You understand what I'm saying? So they are not lazy. There's no laziness in the body or in the spirit of Nigerian youth these days because You see girls, no matter how little it is, whether it's learning how to make nails or makeup or hair or tech, learning how to repair computers or phones, any little thing, everybody's just trying to strive. You understand? There's no laziness at all.
Yeah, and also to add to what you said, once you see your neighbor, once you see your mates doing well, you will be forced to mellow down and actually work and actually help, like, do something for yourself as a person, because you will not want to be in a situation whereby you have a friend group where everyone is doing well, they are making it happen, but you're just there and you're just being a burden to whoever is catering for you. So now youths are actually putting down their head and actually making things work for themselves, unlike before where people are always reluctant and just, you know, waiting for things to come, not actually moving forward to make things happen. So yeah.
Quite interesting and good to note. And from what you said, I could portray or foresee some situations whereby you have Nigerian youth sitting at home and expecting from daily bread to come from their parents. There are some people who, by the way, each time are kind of like still like waiting for mommy's pets, waiting for their parents' food and clothing and handout most of the time in everything they want to do. Whereby there are a lot of opportunities outside for anybody to kind of like key in, join in, even daily pay works. There are so many daily pay work outside, but Nigerian youth these days are kind of like not trying to key in into that. So thinking on trying to put a way whereby this scenario or this fact can be changed, I think and I believe that maybe there should be more of sensitization. There should be more of government coming up through policies, communication and broadcast media in ways by which everybody will be on the know or of the ideas of ways at which they can come out and do something and not just sit at home. So this brings me to the next question, and I would like to put it to you, Favor. Laziness, Nigeria, and trying to bring out the youth to come out and be active into the nation building, which we should be bringing about patriotism. And patriotism might look like a big word to every other person. But to you, what do you feel or what do you think patriotism can mean to every Nigerian youth and yourself, per se, at first?
For me, patriotism is not about just raising the flag. You're just raising your flag. That's not... You can find patriotism in the tiniest things, the simplest things. It might be just you helping out your community around with anything at all. It might be, sanitation, picking one or two things like deaths on the road, or it might be helping children, maybe buy textbooks or pencils or anything, or helping
volunteering.
Yes, volunteering just for anything. You understand? Like, let me say, for example, NGOs. There are so many young people now in charge of NGOs. Yes. And they help children that do not have homes, children that don't even know where their next meals are going to come from. That's patriotism, because you are helping your fellow Nigerian. You are helping them. You are mentoring other people, and as you are doing it, other people are seeing you and are learning from you. So it's not a big something. You can't just say, it's patriotism. We are saying that's a big word, and maybe you're finding something big. You don't have to do something that's so big. Just from the simplest things that will change somebody's life. That's patriotism.
And also, like, people feel like once you bring in patriotism, it means that you should bring yourself to the lowest of the low to get things done. And obviously, because of how the government system is, people don't want to actually do things for their country and everything. They feel like, why should they do that? But at the same time, to prove people wrong, there's one guy like that. I think they aired him on NTA. I can't remember, but they aired him somewhere on one particular broadcast. He was still a copper. He was still serving. He actually built a particular like hall kind of thing for like the market women at a particular PPA he was posted. He was posted to a very, very local community. So during his service year, he now consulted the government. They provided the funds and everything. He erupted a particular, like, it was given like shade where market women can actually stay and like set up their business, because apparently they're outside and obviously son, everything. So because of that act of care and patriotism for that particular area, he was like, he put it upon himself to actually see this kind of thing to happen and work. So also another example, my sister's friend actually runs an NGO, as you said earlier. She runs an NGO where they help. I think I don't really know like the content of the NGO, but I think what they really do there is they help young people that don't have money to fund themselves. They also help grown adults who don't have really enough to like cater for themselves. They contribute, and anything you have, even for the young kids. Let's assume now I don't use some clothes again or shoes. You bring it to the NGO. They go out and give people that will need it. Do you understand? So all these little things are simple acts of patriotism that people don't actually feel like it's actually anything. They're like, you just gave clothes to somebody, but it's actually you're actually giving to the country, even if it's one person. It's actually a very, very simple act of being patriotic to your nation. So that's.
And I also want to add something. You don't have to spend billions.
Yes.
Or start constructing roads or anything, or building statues of governors, past governors or past leaders of the country before you know that you're a patriotic citizen. Just from simple things.
Yes.
From simple things. You can change somebody's life. You never know from simple things.
Because those women that they were very happy.
Yes.
I think the government even gave him an award, and I think he got a lot of opportunities from just that little act of kindness, that little act of concern for those women out there. So that alone can really take you places without even, and he didn't even spend a dime. It was the government that funded the whole thing, but he had the idea. The idea was his own, but the funding was from the government. So that alone really took him a lot of places.
Yes.
Yeah.
And most people, they do it because they want to get a reward at the end.
Yeah.
But that's not the real spirit. I mean, but that's not the objective. That's not how it's supposed to be. When you want to be patriotic, you do it from your heart.
Yeah.
You don't do it because you want to get something in return.
Yes.
So even though you don't get a reward at the end, you are doing it because you are helping a fellow Nigerian. You are helping a fellow human being.
Helping one Nigerian is like helping the whole Nigeria.
Yes. So that's,
basically. So yeah.
Thank you. Patriotism, from what you both had said right now, I could pick the word selflessness.
Yes.
Kind of like giving out your all for nothing, not expecting anything.
Yes.
That's a good one. And to add to what you are trying to bring up, talking about patriotism, there is one particular program that is coming up, that is ongoing at the moment, which is a collaboration of the Lagos State Government, Ministry of Health per se, and the NYSC, whereby corpers are kind of like asked to enlist to help in the polio vaccination stuff. And a lot of corpers are into it. You know, sometimes when I pass through the streets of Ikeja and along, you see corpers, some on their khaki, some without, carrying this polio vaccination stuff and going from house to house. It's kind of like, it shows selflessness, especially as we are serving. It's not just serving in each other's PPA, it's also coming out to the community where we are serving and making an impact, helping out. That is great. That's wonderful. Thank you. Right now, our dear viewers, we will go on a short break. When we come back, we will continue on the topic. Stay tuned.
We wear the khaki, but we carry more than just a bag. We carry dreams, grit, and a will to serve.
This is Corpuscan, rising to serve, rising to lead.
Welcome back. Before the break, we were discussing on how the new Nigerian youth can be purposeful, productive, and proud. Continuing the discussion, you know, in our country, Nigeria, where everybody is hustling and trying to survive, collaboration or teamwork is always taking the back seat. So I'd like to ask, how does shared values and teamwork help unite Nigerian youth? I would like to hear from you, Kachi.
Okay. So from the question you asked, you said, how does shared values and teamwork help unite Nigerian youth, right? Basically, a teamwork helps the dream work. So apparently, I believe that once youths come together and they stand by, okay, this is actually how things are meant to be, and they agree upon themselves, let's work together as young people. Because apparently in NYC, you go there, you meet different people, different personalities, different tribes or ethnic groups. So apparently I believe that from that experience alone, you should actually have that mindset of, I can work with anyone. I should be able to adjust with anyone's belief and their values. Because obviously I'm Igbo. The same values I have in Igbo as an Igbo person will be different from someone that is Yoruba or someone that is from Itesekiri. So apparently, once you get into that space, you should be able to adjust and not just be someone that dominates, that wants to be like at the helm of affairs. You'll be like, okay, since I am Igbo, I feel like I should dominate this particular crowd. I believe that whatever I say stands, or whatever values I have should be what should be in place or in practice. But it should not be like that. It should be a thing of, I'm Igbo, I'm a table. You feel the people from different ethnic groups like, okay, I'm here, Yoruba person's here, some from Fulani, some from Hausa, some from, Yoruba, like that. As I were together, I'm like, okay, drop down your opinions, drop down what you think we should do.
We pick up ideas.
Yes, we share our ideas, we put it down together, and then that's teamwork. That's basically teamwork. Teamwork is basically you being able to understand and accept people's ideas and opinions and views. Do you get? So I believe that once people come to terms with, I am not the only person in the room. There are people there that are also there to share their opinions. Once people have that in mind, that they're not the ones that should, be the dominating presence, teamwork will definitely fall in place. So I believe that as you're a human being, you should be able to understand people and also adapt and be able to take people's opinions and views to heart, and not just take it as something that is shallow and something that is not, that is less important. Everyone is important. So that's basically that.
No,
yeah.
thank
Do you
you.
have anything to add?
Yes, I have a little thing to add.
Yeah.
What I want to say is, I think tribalism that is kind of creating that barrier for teamwork in Nigeria amongst Nigerian youths. Tribalism.
Basically, as I said,
yes.
Once you think that you're the dominating lead,
yes,
it's hard for you to accept people for what they are and what they truly believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just change that mindset. Nigeria has over 250 more than cultures, and they are so beautiful, beautiful cultures.
Yeah.
So we should, like you said, adjust. We should all try to learn each other's cultures. It's a good thing. We should all learn to accommodate people.
Yes.
Yes, accommodate cultures, because Nigerian cultures are it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
And teamwork, everything will just be fine.
Yes.
That's
So,
what I have to add.
Thank you so much. That was a nice one from both of you. From what you portrayed out, I was able to take adaptability.
Yes.
I see it as a keyword there.
Yeah.
You should at least be able to adapt to every situation. You can't be just a Southeasterner from Nigeria and then the kind of lifestyle, the growth, the livelihood you are used to in the Southeast. When you come up to Lagos or maybe Abuja or another part of the country, you kind of abhor or look down on other people's cultures, values, and way of life.
Yeah.
So I believe adaptability is the keyword there. But moving on to the last question on my table, I would like to know, as Nigerians, we all want to make it, but we also talk about purpose and impact. So I'd like to know, how do you personally balance chasing your goals with helping to build a better Nigeria for all of us?
You can chase your goals, quite all right. But when you get there, or when you feel you have gotten there, you also have to involve other people. That way, you're also helping. I mean, you have achieved your goal, and right now, you want to accommodate other people in what you are doing. But you can become an employer of labor, yes. And you have involved other Nigerians. You understand? So this way, you chased your goal, you got what you wanted, and now that you have made it, you are employing someone else. You are giving that person something to do.
Being an employer.
Being an employer, and the person now your employee.
Okay, Kachi, what do you have to say about that?
Okay, to add to what she said, apparently I believe that once you have already established yourself, a point will come when, as she said, you will now be able to give people employment. You know, as well, this topic has been centered on like lazy Nigerian youths in quotes.
Okay, what is your name?
My name is Ngozi Ochuba. I'm a pharmacist by profession.
Okay, so how has Achievement Channel inspired you in the past year?
Okay, thank you. You know, I actually came to Achievement Channel as a panel in Inspire Her. So I came the first time. I just thought it was like, let me just come and see what it's all about and see what I can offer too. But going on after the first episode, it made me go back, to reassess, rethink, and I saw it was really something noble, because through this platform, I see myself also being able to proffer solutions to the problems, everyday problems we see in our society, especially with women, because I'm on the Inspire Her panel. So, the everyday problem women face, the challenges women face, and how to add value not only to yourself, but to the society in general. And you now understand that you can make change from wherever you are. You start from where you are, with the resources you are, and the ripple effects over time, it's there.
Hello, ma'am. What's your name?
My name is Gwen Abiola Oloke.
When you think of the word achievement, what comes to mind?
Well, first of all, there must be tangible results. There must be growth. There must be impact on others. And there must be sustainability. So in other words, you can replicate that same event, and positive impact on others.
My name is Esther Budage.
What impact has Achievement Channel had in the past 1 year?
Well, Achievement Channel has done so well. It's an inspirational channel, a motivational channel, and also an educational channel. So a lot of people are happy with the channel because there's so much to learn on the channel. And talking about speaking up and confidence, the channel is doing so well there because from what we do in Achievement Channel, a lot of people are now beginning to have more confidence and they can now speak with clarity. And that's very good. Also in the area of women taking leads in their businesses, women are now beginning to take hold of their businesses and also doing well for themselves. So the channel is doing so well and I'm proud of the channel. Thank you.
So your name?
Hi, good evening. My name is Ayodele Oluwole.
When you think of Achievement Channel, could you describe it in one sentence?
One sentence, I would say our Achievement Channel, we see possibilities. It's a place for possibilities to be seen. Because if you look at what we're trying to do on the Achievement Channel, we're trying to bring in achievers. We're trying to highlight, some of those basic principles that they applied that has helped them to be where they are today. So it is seeing possibility in people, seeing, identifying potentials, seeing how people have been able to maximize their potentials and, make the best use of it. So it is a very good channel to watch. Thank you.
My name is John Ewudagi.
How do you see Achievement Channel growing in the next 1 year?
I see them achieving very great achievements, greater heights, because they have started a very solid foundation. And with what they have been able to do in 1 year, I believe they can build on that and achieve something maybe 4 times what they have achieved this year.
Ma, please, your name?
My name is Ambassador Mrs. Imelda Honosuji, the founder of Women and Modesty Global Initiative, an NGO that kicks against indecent dressing and indecent acts in the society.
What does Achievement Channel mean to you personally?
Oh, it means a lot to me. We have many channels, but I picked interest in this because it is educational and it is informative. It is a channel that while watching it, you forget yourself. You learn a lot from channels. Yeah.
Mafi, your name and what you do?
My name is Helen Onwa Odeleye. I'm a broadcaster. I'm a teacher. And what else? A media executive.
Okay, so what does Achievement Channel mean to you personally?
Achievement Channel for me is like everything put together that suggests success, that suggests progress, that suggests achievement, if I'm using that word again. And so if you're looking at achievement, it's like a very small word, but the channel has come on board to expand it. And it's come to say to us that the Achievement Channel is that channel that brings you the A, B, and C through the stories of several people for us to understand better in practice what success means in every facet of life, in every profession, in relationships, in humanity, and so many more. Thank you. Hi there, my name is Helen Omaodeleye, and I am so excited and proud to be associated with the Achievement Channel. Achievement Channel is everything that you would ever want in a television program, in content development, and you know, when you are looking for those things that you don't find everywhere that leads you to that path of success, self-actualization, and entertainment. Yeah, it's not only just talking, there's a lot of entertainment and a lot of excitement on the Achievement Channel. So please make sure that you're tuned to this channel on YouTube and on all the other platforms on a regular basis. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Anike Ade from K Treasure. I'm asking you to keep watching Achievement Channel.